The wrong way, I'm looking for the truth, screaming from the roof. Here comes the blizzard full of facts from the wizard. Tell me if you heard, that's the wizard's words. You listen and subscribe, got the perfect vibe. It's going worldwide, that's the wizard's words. Words. Say that again. That's the wizard's words. Words. Say that again. That's the wizard's words. Words. Every single day, it's always the wrong way. I'm looking for the truth, screaming from the roof. Here comes the blizzard full of facts from the wizard. Tell me if you heard, that's the wizard's words. Every single day, it's always the wrong way. I'm looking for the truth, screaming from the roof. Here comes the blizzard full of facts from the wizard. Tell me if you heard, that's the wizard's words. That's the wizard's words. Every single day, it's always the wrong way. I'm looking for the truth, screaming from the roof. Here comes the blizzard full of facts from the wizard. Tell me if you heard, that's the wizard's words.
Hello everybody. Thought we'd start with wizard rap today. Why not? Oh, 7 o'clock. Here we go. A call-in show. A call-in show. Yes, another call-in show. They fly, don't they? This is episode 18. Yes, the 18th time we've done a call-in show. And I've chosen the so-called racist chants that happen Spain versus Egypt to kick off the show. So happy days. Yep, I've got the emails, got the worm, and I've got the jingles. Yep, all received, mate. Thank you very much. It's all good. Oh, Olga is in the chat. On time. Keep better time than what I do. Don't know why I kept them on. But I have my headphones on so I can listen to my rap. Got to have an intro rap, ain't ya? So yeah, it's all happy days. Hello, Olga, and this evening, and Robert, afternoon, evening, everybody from Ohio. I suppose you're all waiting for the Archimedes, can't even say it, Archimedes 2 rocket. That's what's that out? 11:15, 11:20, half 11 or something tonight. That should be interesting. Gonna go all the way around the moon and back again. What's the point of that? What is the point of that? Oh, there's nothing on the dark side of the moon. There's all aliens there waving as they pass. Hello. Do you come from Earth? Yes, we're not stopping. So, how you doing, Shill? Yeah, Shill. Yeah, you done a Kofi donation. I missed it again. I don't know what's going on. I swear last time you done one and I missed it, didn't I? And it wasn't till I don't know what was it. I was checking my emails and it had 3. And I was like, 3? I thought, well, I thought it's 2. So I've gone and looked and there it is, like Shill Miller. I'm like, that is so annoying. I missed one. I said I'll say it tonight and I have. But I don't know why you didn't do it. Because it didn't feel, because I saw it and I went up there and I saw it. But for some reason, when you done it, obviously I didn't see it, or it happened and it maybe at the same time as when I feel something. I don't know. But yes, but Jill Miller, ladies and gentlemen, did indeed do a Kofi donation in an earlier show, and I missed it. That's twice I've done that. I'm so sorry. But anyway. But yes, it was received. Thank you very much. I really appreciate your support. Thank you. But I'll try not to miss any in the future. Should there be any, I'll try not to miss them. That's no excuse. How dare you miss it, Mr. Wiz? But yeah, I don't get it. Absolutely strange. So yeah, Moonbase. Yeah, Archimedes 2. They're saying about getting people on the moon. Why? Good evening, Nelly. Hope you're well this evening. Living the dream, as I say. But I was trying to work out, like, Earth has been here for 2 billion years. It's probably going to be here for another 4 billion years or something ridiculous like that. Why on earth do we need to go on the moon? Why do we need man on the moon to live on the moon? I mean, it's really weird. Something's going on. It just seems strange. Why do you need a man on the moon? Why do we need humans living on the moon? Random. We've got to sort this blooming planet out first. I mean, we've got so many issues on this planet. They want to like go and start like putting a population on the moon. What? It makes no sense to me. Do you know what I mean? We've got all these issues here. We've got to work out what we're doing on this planet. I mean, we've got 2 billion people that think having a paedophile prophet is normal, and they think they call it a religion, even though they want to kill Jews and Christians. So we've got that going on. Do you know what I mean? People killing people for no blooming reasons, or they might think they have a reason, but it's not even a valid reason. Like, we need to concentrate on this planet, Earth, really. Look after the people and the actual planet itself. We can get on with that and stop being trying to fool us with all this weird agendas of blooming global warming. The planet's 2 billion years old. It's always coped, making out like we're going to do something. It's crazy, but yeah, we need to sort this planet out before we go to the moon. Like Islam, what is that all about? I mean, how dopey can you be? We're still killing each other. We're still creating wars. Some people out there think it's right to hurt kids and to hurt women. I mean, this planet's got a lot of issues. We don't need men on the moon. It's crazy. But one of the footballers, that Lamine Yamal, he's angered by ignorant and racist chants of Spain, Egypt. But I'm a bit like, what? But you start doing anything, that's it. Oh no, you're actually Islamophobic. Or anti-Muslim chant. Can't do that. We as Muslims are allowed to go and kill Jews and Christians, not a problem. But please don't do chants against Muslims. We'll be the victims. Oh, leave us alone. We're trying to kill all the Jews and the Christians and the non-believers. Don't start chanting like us. Isn't it? It's ridiculous. How many pounds? Yeah, I'm a bit like that as well, Nelly. A bit like I've had it. What's the thing? What is the thing? Yes, I'm on the moon. What are you going to do? Grow some grass? Oh, we need to build a big dome. Oh, right. Okay. Here we go. So, go to your house. Walk into your house. You've got total freedom there. You can pretend like Islam doesn't exist. You can pretend murder doesn't exist. I think NASA moon-based gas station refueling to Mars is a Mars idea. What? So you go to the moon, refuel, and then go to Mars. Go to the moon. We don't need to go to Mars. It's crazy. Crazy. I'm pressing my button. It's not working. It's not good, is it? What is it doing? I'm actually clicking on this message, but it won't. It's getting itself right at it. Oh dear, here we go. Oh, they are finally come up. Only took about 58 times. How you doing, Jake? Hope you're well this evening. But yes, I thought we'd discuss that. I thought, I didn't even think it through. I put all racist chants maybe Egypt, and YouTube's going to be not showing that video to many people. Thank you. Not if you're talking about that. Thank you very much. So, but yes. And someone said direct debit and tried to take money out of my bank. I've no idea. Blimey heck. Bloomin' cheek. Bloomin' cheek. That's what people do, innit? They think they've got a right just to take, innit? Oh, we can commit crimes, we're allowed. Nope. Oh, we're not seeing anything about an 80-year-old being stabbed in London. No, that's not good. Yep, it was breaking up. Yeah, I was pressing buttons, nothing was happening. It's evening, isn't it? I bet I've got dodgy internet. So yeah, always internet connection. How you doing, Dazzler? Happy days. So seems to be back now. I don't know what's going on. How you doing, Jerry's? Living the dream, living the dream. So yeah, but I was a bit taken away from the earlier stream. Phil, like he doing like up in my dentistry thing. He's like, yeah, I'll tell the paper it. There you go, boosh. It's like crazy. There are some very generous people out there. But yes. But yes, it is a call-in show. Of course it is. My first choice was to talk about this incident last night, see what you think about what was going on. But I mean, I'm all up for a footy match. I mean, I don't condone like just being blatantly racist and that. It's just whatever. But thing is, though, you're saying something about Islam. That's not racist, is it? Because you're directing it at religion. Yes, he is a good man. Yep. I messaged him on WhatsApp and that. He's like working late and that. I was like, oh, I'll call you the weekend, mate. Not a problem. So yeah, I'm definitely going to actually talk to him and that. But yeah, so 16th of April, I've got to go for my consultation and see what can be done. Like, it's going to be crazy. It'll be weird. It will be weird. But this one of the footballers, Lamine Yamal from Spain, has criticised racist and ignorant chants heard during Spain's friendly against Egypt that led to a police investigation. The anti-Muslim chants at the RCD Stadium on the outskirts of Barcelona prompted officials to display an anti-discrimination message on the screen to people inside the ground. That's the sort of like picture I had as my thumbnail, but it'll be up. You'll see it in a minute. The messages reminded supporters that taking part in acts of racism and xenophobia is a crime, but the chants continued. They're not going to listen to racism. You're having to go at a religion. It's not racism. And then is there xenophobia is a fear of everything foreign. So that doesn't even work. They're trying to use buzzwords, aren't they? Literally. Yeah. He covered the costs for my thing. I was like, blimey. So yeah, he literally put his money where his mouth is, didn't he? It shut me up. My missus is like, that's a bit strange. You don't expect it nowadays, so just don't expect it. And then there we are. Feel sort of puts a bit more belief back in the human race when you meet people like Phil, doesn't it? He's got work at 9, bless him. So I think there was, and he literally said nothing that's in any shape or form, like nothing that we hadn't heard before. So it's rubbish, apparently. How you doing, Rod? Hope you're well. All right, Duke. We have to shake that word. It's only used to shut people up. I don't care. Yeah, it is. It seems to be a buzzword that, oh, no, did you say that? Okay, well, I can't say anything. Oh. No, he doesn't know how to answer questions. Sound. Sound. Yeah, they are. How you doing, Pat? Hope you're well. Absolutely nuts. Don't get me started on racism. Actually, do get me started on racism. Yeah, well, the call-in link will be up in a mo. But what was I going to say? Grifters, mate. Yeah. Oh, he's not bad. That's what I like to hear. All here. Yep. Your name's in blue. That's racist. Should have been green like everyone else. Or white like Daz. No, you gone blue. Even Jake's gone blue. There's green names. Green. They could have been blue, so that's racist. And you didn't comment, so that's racist. And you did comment, so that's racist. Isn't it? So incredibly difficult to be Elon Musk's missus. I wonder if he can actually have a real romantic evening without thinking about his projects. It's just 24/7, isn't he? I bet his relationship's near enough non-existent. He's not impressed about his son becoming his daughter or something, was it? He actually turned on the woke stuff because it cost him his son, which is fair play. Same here. Anyway, where was I? The chance continued. That's what I said, wasn't it? I'm trying to stick to the story because I took ages again. Didn't I today? It still took me ages. So I was like, oh, Mick. And I think first the story. Crack on, mate. What you saying? A man who started for Spain called Chants. Ignorant and racist. Of course he did. On Instagram, playwright. I know it's directed at the opposing team, wasn't personal against me, but as a Muslim, it's still disrespectful and intolerant. We want to kill Indian Christians and you're staying stuff in the stadium and I get paid £50 a week. I'm gonna cry. Yeah, I'm being sarcastic. Things like this. 18-year-old Lone Star said he understood no things. I like that. No, they're not all things. He had using a religion to taunt the field and racist. No, it doesn't. And I think even Jake will clarify, like, using a religion as a taunt on the field, that does not make you racist. It doesn't even make you ignorant, to be fair. There's a sign that came up. I used that on my thumbnail. Football is for enjoying and cheering, not for disrespecting people for who they are or what they believe. Yeah, but if you believe in Islam, then, I mean, let's not be funny, but you got to be a little bit like IQ-age. Do you know what I mean? But you can see xenophobos, homophobos, and racistas. I don't know what violence, xenophobes, homophobia, and racist has got to do while it's on that sign. That's a bit random. Spain's manager Luis de la Fuente strongly condemned the behaviour of some fans. He said they are not representative of football. They take advantage of football as they do in other areas of life. We need to isolate these people from society. I'm not being funny, but people at football stadiums can sing about this, that, and everything else, but not, obviously, about Islam. Do you know what I mean? It's pathetic. Egyptian FA said, we firmly reject and condemn such behaviour, including the lack of respect shown towards the national anthem. These actions are entirely unacceptable in football stadiums and represent a negative phenomenon that must be collectively addressed and eradicated. But during it's also got to do with the fact that people are in Islam and the amount of death that it's causing and the divide. And obviously, we're not allowed to say anything, but they are. Strange, isn't it? They added, what happened is completely unacceptable and FIFA remains committed to combating racism and discrimination in football. The chants during Tuesday's nil draw home ground of La Liga club Español highlighted increasing concerns about racism in Spanish football. A religion. Having a go about a religion, that's not racism though, is it? Am I missing something? I thought racism about race. I blamed the far right. Of course, it always comes down to the far right. Always. Nothing to do with the far left. Nothing to do with woke. Nothing to do with anything or anyone else. All the fact that they understand Islam, they've had enough of it. He wrote, racist insults and chants shame us as a society. They do, but having to go to religion isn't racist, is it? Am I right in saying that? The far right will not leave any space free of its hatred, and those who remain silent are complicit. Oh, no, they're not. Shut up. Spanish Football Federation said it stands against racism in football and condemns any act of violence inside stadiums. There's no violence. Colonial's regional police force said it opened an investigation into the incident. I mean, what are you on about? It makes no sense. Makes no sense. I can't see how that's racist. Yeah, I bet it's the internet. Probably the time of night everyone's on, isn't they? Oh, it's going to be one of their nights. Soccer is the place to insult the opposite side. It's frigging tradition. Yeah. I mean, I'm full up for like, don't actually be racist. I mean, I know what Jake said last time, but I wouldn't condone like taking like insults and, you know, say you can't play football, this and that, but the colour of someone's skin or whatever, you're going to shout things like that. That's just no. That there's no need for that. I mean, it's just not. Just don't get it. But you know, you can say you can't play football and you look like a girl, or you play like a girl, or whatever. You know what I mean? But yeah, having a go is full on allowed. And there we have Dazzler becoming a YouTube member. Thanks, Dazzler. I appreciate you joining the Wizardians. Yes, I used to say the Wizband, but they're Wizardians now, apparently. They beat me into submission. Every time I say Wizband, they're like, Wizardians. Okay. So welcome to the Wizardians. You are now 100% wizard. Go wizard. Go wizard. You know you wanna. I need to do a jingle for like new members. So when someone does it, I've got to play it. Like, you're a new member on the Wizard's Words. Like, no, mate, no. Don't think so. Don't think so. But anyway, welcome, Dazzler. I appreciate your support. You get those crazy UFO, like reptilian emojis. When I lived in Spain, I just thought the only people they hated more than the English were the M's. Yeah. Racism about superiority. Yeah, it is in a way. Yeah. Evening all. Evening CL. Hope you're well. Hope you're well. Put a camera down to 480p. I can't do that. I can only do that. Don't go that low. It's 720, I think. Oh, press the wrong button then. Just going to double check to make sure I. Tell a lot has got it. I'll do it. Right, 480 now. I better not make it all crappy for you lot. I want like decent picture, but right, 480 now. Just I thought that was the lowest it went. 720. That's why I put it on it. Sticks and stones. Yep. Sticks and stones break my bones, but words, if I'm a Muslim, will really hurt me. Even though I'm trying to kill all the non-believers, the Jews and the Christians. Was he Starlink mobile? Oh, I'm not. No, I'm not even Starlink to Elon Musk. Nope. No way. No way. I'm thinking about upgrading the internet, to be fair. Because my son bought a brand new PC. It was about £2,000 for the tower. Yes, ladies and gents, 2,000. I'll give you the money, mate. I need a dentist. He's like, nope. I'm buying a PC and I'm playing Call of Duty and Black Ops, whatever it is. All right, mate. All right, no worries. He's nearly as tall as me. He's not as old as me, obviously, because he's my son. That'd be just weird, wouldn't it? But yeah. So I think he's sucking up all the Wi-Fi and not leaving any for me. So I have to go down there. No, not really. Probably knock me out with his little finger, mate. Nah. If I was still going down the gym, I would have been all right, but not now. Probably snap me with his finger. Like, dang. When the homegrown talent missed because of DI high in football is sad. You only have to look at the England team and what they have won since. I think the England team is an embarrassment. Ladies and gents, it's an embarrassment. They lost against Japan last night, didn't they? 1-0. They just like drew with Uruguay after Uruguay admittedly did cheat to get the penalty and blah blah blah. That was pathetic. They get rid of that VAR, it makes it even worse. They are stupid. They literally sit there and examine it for minutes and go, okay, we'll make the wrong decision now. UK has some serious symbol issues, just like your parallel judicial system causing trouble, civil chaos. I just don't understand. Oh, I ain't got, mate. I'm not even going to bother trying to understand this flipping country. Or Wizards and one Green Witch. Wizards and Wits. Oh, you got a witch in your thing. How cool is that? I just realised, Olga, I'm a bit slow there, and I'm a bit slow for a wizard, mate. I invented wizettes, which are female wizards, because it just sounds nicer and more respectful than going, oh, we've got a witch. Do you know what I mean? If I said to my missus, oh, do you want to be a witch? She'd be like, who are you calling a witch? Witch? It should not me. I'll be on the deck, not do it, mate. So who are you calling a witch? So I'm like, oh, sorry, love. I was just asking. I was just saying, I'm a wizard. You can be a witch. I ain't no witch, mate. I certainly ain't your witch. Just sit down and shut up. That's what it should say. Yes, erection ties to Englanderish. Yes. It's unfounded superheroid when it's based itself on skin colour. Yep. Random Caribbean countries. It's funny, there's something going on, and that is a crucial distinction. This time's getting rid of Brexit, going to the EU. It's doing something. I don't know what's going on, but people ain't going to sit down and take that. No way. You spat down wishing to get over the grooming gang. I saw something on Dan Witten, a clip thing. I went to watch it, but I didn't actually see it. Judas. No, don't play games. Well, the missus accuses me. She's like, "You playing games with me, mate? You're playing games with me. Do you want me to come out? You playing games with me?" Nah, but no, my son does. He play. I think it's Black Ops, Call of Duty, or something. He plays a few games. Oh, you got £2,000 computer. He plays games, isn't it? If anything, I used to play on my phone that, but I uninstalled that. It's just got on my nerves. It went up then, yeah. That's a good one. And Danny Vaughn was on this morning. Yeah, I watched some of that, yeah. Whereas if you're on Virgin O2, you get double internet speeds for free. I get 250 download for the price one day. I'm on BT. BT. Blooming terrible. Bloody terrible. Blooming tight. BT. He was good. He could set the router to prioritize his connection and yours. He's plugged in and on wireless right upstairs. And I'm in a townhouse, so I'm like, you got the ground floor where he is and my router. Then you got the middle with the lounge and the bedroom, and then you got the top, which is here, which is a big bedroom. And I'm sat on my designer desk, my office. But you see you guys out left and right. He doesn't even claim to be British. Oh, it's a joke. It's an absolute joke. It was a boring game. Yeah, Mrs. wanted to watch it. We forgot. What were we watching? Oh, The Last of Stargate, I think, was it? Or we were watching Mayfair Witches. I think we were watching Mayfair Witches last night. Season 2. Which is strange. It's a weird one. My son is high functioning autistic. He's always taking things apart and questioning things. He is absolutely brilliant with leg bricks when he was young. Yeah, there's something to do autistic. Some people, it's like a superpower, isn't it? Am I allowed to say that? It's it's like they can just, yeah. I mean, we've got it in our family as well, obviously. Or no, I'm not. Before you say anything, but yeah, the high function, like it's like their brain is like more like on the level of a computer or something. And it's like ding, 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 ding. You're like, whoa, yeah. I think they're really intelligent. Personally, some of them, I think they are. Probably most of them actually, they're autistic. There's something going on there. I used to love football, but it became poo in 2000. Yeah, I played from the age of about 7 to the age of about 40, 41. So like 42. So about 35 years or so, I played football as a goalkeeper. 6'6", mate. You're gonna get put in goal, aren't you? I was good and all. So they call it boss. I know. Sweet, no, you don't mind. Yeah, people are like, oh, well, Olga's here. Oh, the witch has arrived. Huh? You know what I mean? Olga be sat down. Call me a witch, mate. You'd be phoning my missus going, oh, when he's asleep, digging with your elbow, will you? Call me a witch, mate. I asked Google, could I drive my boat to the UK? And I can with no legal papers or documents. So in the UK. You're one bad autistic rate of having autistic meltdown panic attacks, which is not good. Happens when people threaten me, swearing constantly at me, trying to take my stuff or things off me. Oh, I was going to giggle and start swearing at you then, but I better not. I don't really swear. I try not to swear online. I'm trying to be very respectful. You know what I mean? I'm trying to do my best English. But yes. So reasonable reaction. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, try and nick something off me. Boosh! Even though you're far right racist, that's it, Mr. Waffle. You got it right. You got it right. But obviously, it is a call-in show tonight. So let me put the link there. I've said my bit about the football. That is what it is. But there was an actual chant saying something about he doesn't jump or something, or the jump. Well, I don't know what it was, but yeah. But it seems to be taking out the report now. Maybe it was deemed to even writing about it, you get called racist. So someone's whole plan was to joke back to the EU, hence the outsourcing of all our energy production, defence, and skinting us. So we have no choice to be saved by the Davos crew. That wouldn't surprise me. That's probably a good shout, Ollie. I think it's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting what he's doing, saying like back in the EU. No, we voted Brexit. That's it. The people have spoken. So shut up. Arguing in a bad way, deliberately confusing me in a bad way, put under stress or preach me, lose control and attack. If people talk civil me, okay, 1,000 years. They do not. Most people push to get to you. Yeah, they do. They do. They do, mate. Some people are like that. But, got me all my hair. Getting all my hair in my face. But if I do it in a certain way, it doesn't look so obvious that I'm wearing thingies. I need to get rid of that for a start. Oh, it looks like you're red whiz. Get rid of that. Close all that. So all these windows that are going to be closed, it should make it like my internet better. But obviously, what'll make it worse, I think, is Jake's attitude. Here he is.
My attitude is very bad. It's very bad attitude. Hello, Wiz. How are you?
I'm all good. I'm all good. Living the dream.
Very glad with your news today. Just goes to show that not only are there good people out there, but real world things happen on the Wizards channel.
Yeah, I'm not exactly brilliant at moments like that, not knowing what to say, what to do. I'm like, so
yeah, it's hard, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not. I'm more than I'll be happier to give than I am to receive. I'm one of them people, like, you know, have it. It's my last tenner, have it, or whatever. But someone goes, oh no, that's my last tenner. You can have it. I'll be like, no, I don't want it.
Yeah, if someone gives me a bit unsure how to react to it, like you don't want to go over the top, but at the same time you want to look. Oh, I don't know.
Respectful.
Yeah, respectful. Now, I saw a video earlier that was quite funny. I don't know if anyone else has seen it. It's a video of a chap booing at people putting up the Union Jack flag. Now, I have a link if anyone does want to see it. Now, the reason I found it so funny is because that video is actually in my hometown, and the idiot who's doing the booing is my mum's next door neighbour, and he is a complete and utter wanker. He's a proper green tree hugger and has been for years. And my mother absolutely hates him, and to the point where she just refuses outright to speak to him. And yes, she does have Union Jacks up around her front window, so he'll be even more pissed off. Yeah, Ollie's seen it. He's right. But the funniest thing in it for me was there was this fat woman came out of a shop, and she said that she was offended by the flag being put up. And I thought, the flag of your own country, You know, this is somebody in my town, my hometown, stood opposite the primary school that I went to and the church I went to every week, who's saying that the flag of the country is offensive. She's quite clearly somebody who's from London and has moved to the area in some fancy house with her fancy London ways, and she can stick them up her arse and fuck off while she does it.
Yeah, but I don't get all that. Or, you know, saying you're racist, the St. George's flag and all that, and like even the video I've got of Muslims spitting at the St. George's flag, I've loaded that up, and that's really been shadow banned. Like YouTube's like, yeah, we're not showing that, mate. It's
Yeah,
like about 60 or 70 views, and then I put a video up after that, and that's had nearly 500.
It's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. It's almost as bad as that disgraceful behaviour in Clapham and Birmingham. And I saw as well, I don't know if this is true, it mentioned that there was trouble in Luton as well. I can't take credit for that line, by the way, of sticking it up your ass and fuck off whilst you do it. That's from Withnail and I. It's not one of my own. I'm not going to take any credit. But yeah, that behaviour was absolutely disgusting. It's as I think it was Defiant Fox, or maybe it was Mad Monkey Seeds mentioned earlier. It's clearly imported from America. But it's interesting that it's only ever one demographic that you see behaving like that. And for once, I will actually stick up for the Muslims. Muslims don't behave like that. That's one thing you will not see them doing, is going around on the rob and rioting like that. Yes, they'll run into countries, hack people's heads off, rape them silly and murder them to death, but they won't go and rob you, no. They at least have some standards.
We just so happens.
I mean, look at this. It looks like an 80s zombie film.
Yep.
Terrifying.
They're like, fire! One more after this. Yeah, I know. Look, one copper in the middle. That's another one.
I was very pleased to see that police have made 2 arrests.
Yeah, all that.
Now, this isn't the first time and if you look back pretty much over every single decade, there's been at least one racial riot in this country that has been caused by the very same demographic. It's something that people don't like to talk about, but it's something that keeps happening. We saw it at Broadwater Farm, it happened in Brixton, it happened in Toxteth. You know, it's not unusual for there to be this sort of behaviour, and I don't know where it comes from, and I don't know why they see the need to behave like that, but it's not the way that we behave in this country. And where the hell were the police? When I see that situation, I want to see the police there on horseback, charging in with water cannons and firing rubber bullets, going in with the batons out and getting as many people in the van as possible. That's what I expect the police to do. That's what I pay my council tax to do. But this is, of course, London. So this is the Metropolitan Police, who are, of course, under the leadership of that little poison dwarf. So we can't expect anything reasonable from them. They are a very corrupt institution anyway. I mean, the thing that's frightening about it is, I'm sure many remember the Broadwater Farm riots and the murder of PC Keith Blakelock by a horde of young black males. I mean, there were 2 police officers that you could see in that footage there. If they'd been surrounded by people armed with knives, and bearing in mind the culture that they are in, that's not unlikely that they weren't carrying, then they could be butchering people on you know, police officers left, right and centre. It's absolutely disgraceful. I mean, I personally, and I'm not even using hyperbole here, I If I were in charge of this country right now, I would be declaring a national emergency, and I would have the army in all major cities imposing martial law, because it is getting out of hand.
Yeah. What is the purpose of it? I mean, are they all doing something through some sort of WhatsApp group, or where are they, or where do they get this idea from, and why are they doing it?
Well, all I can really comment on is what I know from the American side of things. And we've got Robert Johnson in the chat, obviously, who is living over there and knows the score as well. So it all comes essentially from the civil rights movement. Now, the civil rights movement was a perfectly legitimate, very good thing to have happened, because there was racism in that country. And when I say racism, as has been mentioned in the chat earlier on, racism isn't just insulting someone's race. It's where there's an actual sense of superiority, and that you believe that that other race is inferior to you. And that power dynamic is really, really important. So quite rightly, in the 70s, they wanted a rebalance. So they brought in DEI as a temporary measure to, sort of give African Americans, or black people, as most people tend to call them, more of a chance, so that there could be equality. And unfortunately, what that tended to do is it brought out a grievance culture and a sense of entitlement, where people were expecting things to happen. And it's really, really something that the government over in America knew all about, because there was a famous report, I think it's called the Moynihan Report, in the mid-60s, and it diagnosed all of the problems there were with the black culture. And essentially it came down to one thing, that the fathers weren't around. And it's exactly the same problem that there is now. And what is difficult to understand is, and the academic Thomas Sowell talks a lot about this, that, hey there, Richard.
How you doing? All right.
I planned it.
Yeah, I noticed, yeah.
He has argued that under Jim Crow, so before the civil rights, when they deliberately had put in place racial laws like segregation, the black people were better off because they tended to stay within their family unit, so you didn't have the problems with crime that you then had later on. Now, some people will argue that later on there was more to the political misdemeanors, like introducing drugs into ghetto areas and things like that. And there is, of course, some truth in that. But somewhere around the 1950s, early 60s, something happened to the black family units that has never really been replaced, because they were then put on welfare systems, much like we have here, creating a sense of dependency, and of course keeping them further back and not being able to get anywhere. So that breeds this sense of resentment that's there, and that's why that still lingers on today. Unfortunately, when the idiots in this country bring it over, they forget something really, really important, that we didn't have racist laws in this country. We never have. We've never been a racist country. So it doesn't work over here. And what that has meant is that racism has now become something completely different from what it actually truly means. So now somebody will say you're racist if you say to somebody who is black, where are you from? They will refer to that as a microaggression. That isn't racist. That's just simply asking somebody where they have come from. There's nothing wrong with asking somebody that. And even if somebody said, are you from Africa? There's nothing wrong with saying that either. It's not racist. It's not offensive. And I really do think that it's been, in this country, it's been really overblown, and it's become used as a weapon to the point where it's, as people have said in the chat, when everything becomes racist, then nothing becomes racist, because it just doesn't mean anything anymore.
It offends the snowflakes, doesn't it?
Yeah. And let's be honest, most of the people that take offence are white people, middle-class people, exactly like that stupid fat woman in the video I mentioned who said that the Union Jack is offensive.
Yeah.
People that read the and wear red corduroy trousers, things like that, cravats. Yeah, you know the type I mean. You can spot them a mile off. Bit scruffy.
I think Olga's got Osprey confused with what's going on there, and she's sort of saying one thing and then went off to someone else. She's thinking, oh, this is absolutely disgusting. Oh, they're discussing that. Okay, absolutely disgusting. And then she's put it up there, absolutely discussing. Yes, we are absolutely discussing this, Olga. We've decided we shall talk about it, and we shall not be silenced, and thou shall not pass. Oh, did I go all funny? My YouTube again.
Now, I could be conspiratorial here and argue that maybe, just maybe, these things are happening in London because maybe the government are paying attention to what people are doing on social media and tracking their movements, but are just letting them get away with it because then they can bring in laws to prevent that from happening for our safety. I'm not saying that that's what they're doing, but it's not unlikely.
I'd heard it were a TikTok trend.
Probably.
Yeah. I bet you haven't looked at my video, have you, Wiz? It's very funny.
No, I haven't.
I actually alter what the text of what Trump was saying. You can even alter the date, in Twitter. From the other day when I was talking about it. Don't believe everything that you read on Twitter, especially if someone's just showing you a post, right? You can just open the dev command tools, right, and just alter the text. It's only there on your screen. It doesn't alter the actual text. You know what I mean? It's not as if I'm some weird just been hacker or something. But I'd actually done that before April 1st, you see. Well, on April the 1st. And I'd even altered the date so as it looked like he'd mentioned it the day before on March 31st. But it's, I thought it was, well, it made me laugh anyway.
Yeah, I will watch it. I've been doing this and everything else. I don't know what I've been doing today, but the day's just shot past, so.
Yeah.
Well, you've been watching Richie and Rogue, haven't you?
Yep, I watched that earlier.
Yep, and I couldn't rest for your tripping your WhatsApp messages coming through earlier on today. I thought, what's you want now?
See what's going on. I didn't know if you went up and actually spoke on Richie and Rogue or not, because that Oakenfold was there, wasn't he?
Yes, well, you see, he used to be a member of Advance UK, but no one else does interviews with Advance UK now.
Yeah. Jake was on it. Oh, well, you never guess what happened to me today.
What happened to you today, Wiz?
Right. Well, allow me to let you know. I watched the Richie and Rogue thing. Oh, do you know what? Let me put that on X because it was a good chat. Jake's name popped up, your name popped up. It's all round a good stream, isn't it? So I thought, okay. I put it on X, loaded it up, and I put my tweet was actually I can show you, can't I? I can actually show you. God, I don't want none of this trust me, bro rubbish. I've got evidence. I'm bringing it to the table. Right? Let me show you. Right. I could not believe it. I was like, hang on a minute. Really? But yeah, it's true. It's true. Right. Basically, let me find one that's not about Islam and how bad it is. Look, there's my thing. Look, how different, how beautiful would this world be without Islam? It'd be heaven on earth, be the same, be worse without it. But anyway, right, where is it? Where's me Rich and Rogue? There it is. Right. Well, I put this up, right? Mm-hmm. You have to correct me if I'm wrong or whatever. I'm quite open or whatever. And I put Advanced UK is thinking fast. Mm-hmm. This is a revealing chat on the superb Richard and Rogue YouTube channel featuring obviously Richard and Rogue, whatever. And then obviously the video. There's nothing wrong with that, is there?
Seems good to me.
Well, why is it not coming up? There's me wanting to do it. Coming
Don't
up.
Ask me,
it should be here.
Do not ask me how chuffing Twitter works.
No, there's a comment there. The comment should be up. Let me have a.
I don't know.
Let me go in me notifications. The reply to it.
Yeah.
Here. This is the reply to it. As you can see, look, at YouTube and at RW Taylor and two others. Yeah. Oh dear, you two. I thought you were unbiased. Good luck.
Right.
Yeah, she normally watches it. There you go.
Yeah.
All because of that post.
Yeah. So
and you can tell by the photo.
There was a clone account of this person, right?
Yes, there was.
And when I think you were there, Jake. And when I was on, it's made me. I think it's made me a mod now. I've got to go and jump on his stream tomorrow. That's Guardian Mose, right? And there was a clone account of this person because it's got the same photo. And then it come up and said, "Oh, I thought we might be able to meet for a cup of tea or something." And we were there all the way through stream. And then they them turned around to me and said, "Oh, I used to be a man, like, you know what I mean? Oh my God, what's going on? Why won't you take me out for a drink of tea? Is it because I'm a trans woman?
Yes, it bloody well is."
And I said, no, it's just like I want to be able to thumb it into the brand, never mind. Thumb it into the pink, never mind about the hard brand. Stop that. I think I handled like quite, you know, like a
I'm glad that you didn't handle it.
A bomb disposal expert. I think I just dissected that quite well. You know what I mean? Without causing too much of a ruckus, kind of thing.
Dear, oh dear.
But yeah, obviously it's because she used to be a man. Them used to be a man.
Well, that would put me off, I say.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But is that,
it were a clone account. It were a clone account.
Alluring.
Yeah, it was a clone account.
Is that how fickle this world's become, though? Because I put up one post, someone's like, and then block you. Like, whoa, hang on. Like,
I was asked this actually because I'd never heard of Paul Thorpe or Richard Inman until a couple of weeks ago, and I didn't realise. And obviously, I was working with some people at the time, but behind the scenes, and I didn't realise how vicious things were. And I was really, really surprised that there was this. It wasn't just polarization; it was absolute hatred for each other and real tribalism. And can anyone explain to me what it's all about? Because I have not got a fucking clue.
I think it originated with the state of politics, as in the channel. Bo.
Yeah,
you know,
but Paul Thorpe's gone from 308,000 subscribers to 305,000.
Yeah, I know.
He's lost 3,000 subscribers just where he was talking about whatever he was talking about in the world of politics.
But then I was watching Bo this morning on the state of politics, and he was going off about the Jews and stuff. You know what I mean? So it's that kind of channel. You know what I mean? I think it was them that started stirring pot, really, that then caused Paul Thorpe to Richard Inman. Well, no, Richard Inman kicked off because because Rupert didn't join Ben. You know, but Ben had put a lot of work into building the Advanced UK Party, and I think everybody were expecting them to join, but then they didn't. And then the State of Politics channel went off on one night saying, "Oh, well, what were you expecting?" So you were offering the ring to Rupert Lowe, and Rupert Lowe didn't take the my God, that's a proper wizard. Didn't take the ring, so you took offence at it.
We've got a rival in the house.
Yeah,
I should ban him immediately. How dare you try and be more wizard than the wizard? How does that work? Let me go and get my wizard outfit on. That's terrible. That's terrible.
You know, first impressions last, as they say.
Bloody do, mate. Bloody more wizard than wizard. How dare ye?
Yeah, we've
got Owen Wilson up there. And we've got Jabba the Hutt down there.
I'm not in the right position to be Jabba the Hutt. I have to be above your nose for that.
Oh, that's classic.
And holding a chihuahua.
So why is there then so much hatred for these people?
No, because I don't like you, mate. I don't like you, so shut up. I don't know.
Well, obviously, apart from I know that, that's taken away. But I don't understand why there's this hatred there. Have they done anything wrong or something?
The world is struggling. Makes them feel good.
I started working on a full timeline of everything that happened and that lot, and then I suddenly got bored with it. I thought, oh no, fuck this, because it gave me an headache. From even pointing out dates of when they were posted and stuff like that. The videos were posted, the to-ing and fro-ing and stuff like that. I started trying to do a montage like that, but I just got bored after a bit. I don't
See,
know. So
I don't get it.
But I have got the links. I've got the links. I'll be happy to share links with you. Like, I could email them to you. In fact, you need to get in touch with me. Wiz, you can give me my WhatsApp number if you want. If you go on WhatsApp, and then we can keep keep on doing that.
What I don't understand is that I've had somebody who's gone on YouTube and mouthed off about me for a considerable period of time without any good reason for it, and based on lies and scraps of truth embellished and reinterpreted. I'm not going to mention who it was, but I could quite easily have gone on and done a video and done a back and forth if I'd wanted to, because I know that person would have replied because they don't like being criticised. But what's the point? I don't want to waste my time on something like that.
Well, they obviously did, Paul and that. They didn't really need to bit back or out like that. They should have just left it. But if you're that kind of person, you're going to do it. You know what I mean? And then you tell them, you tell them to stop doing that, and then they'll take that as an attack on their freedom of speech. So don't blame them for, you know what I mean? So it's up to them if they want to do that. And even Dino Bain now has made a meme out of Paul. He brings him up on every single podcast he does now, where he's taking Mickey out of Dino Bain just in a short little video clip of him saying, I'm confused or something like that. Because it did a montage of him saying, I'm confused every time, and it must have been about a montage of about 50 different video clips. But that's just the way that Paul Thorpe talks. And yeah, it's bound to be confused because of the state of politics at the moment. I don't mean that by the state of politics, as in, them two on that channel. I mean the actual state of politics.
Oh my God, ain't it a travesty right now, isn't it? For all the hundreds of years that Britain has been and what we have. We give to the world, it's just like, holy shit, what the fuck is going on with you guys in the school playground now?
Yeah.
Are we the the intellectuals looking inwards again, going, oh, you bullies.
We are the ones who's never changed.
Well,
We've not changed. They've changed.
It depends on where your charge was, sir. So what you have done in this life and where you stand upon it to look at to others. Yeah. You know what I mean? Truly down to that. That's what it is about. And that's what society should be seen for. And now we see all this, for a long time, all the sleaze that's been there in our society, in the institutions that have been feeding us this crap.
Yeah.
Day in, day out.
I think everybody went completely mad when they were all locked up for 2 years. I mean, I loved it. I did. You know what I mean? Oh, good. I don't have to go outside. Great.
I didn't even notice that I was too out of it on meds.
Same here, self-medication, but but I took it in my stride. I thought it was great. I didn't mind at all, And then 5 years later, 6 years later, I finally come out of my little cave and went downtown, and I thought, oh my God, where am I? Somalia?
I shouldn't. It's probably true.
Yeah.
It was like that to me, you know what I mean?
Has it really been that much of a drastic change there?
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. Yeah.
And it's Somalians.
Well, whatever, well, not really, the faces are all we used to seeing in Mansfield,
What's it like in terms of what's the sort of general atmosphere and feel like of the place now? Has that changed with it, or is that still the same?
Well, I used to go out every single night, with my DJing job and that. Yeah, and I used to go out, used to mingle with everybody had a laugh and stuff like that. I think the second time I went out after the lockdown, I got cracked in the nose from some weirdo. You know what I mean? Just this lad who, and I was pissed up, so he knocked me down. And then next time I went out, he come up to me in pub, said, oh, remember that lad who put you down on the street? I said, yeah, of course I do, yeah. He said, that was me. I said, well, I don't owe no grudge. It's all right, whatever. And then it started going chuffing mental at me again. So all his mates had to chuff and grab hold on him. And best thing about it, I knew all bounced in pub, so I could have got him ejected straight away. You know what I mean? Don't seem to realise that. But it was just some tall kid, and it did actually feel like he was probably a professional boxer, you know what I mean? But I took it, don't worry about it. I put my head against this freezing metal pipe.
So can I interject again?
Yeah.
And ask, are you guys looking for solutions to the problems that you see? And how you find the solutions, correct, to these problems?
we've had very many solution
I'm pretty
suggestions put to us. And to be honest, you do actually sound a little bit like Michael McCarthy, but I know you're not. But I mean, Dunty, is it me?
Who's that? Who's Michael McCorby?
It's
Is that
you.
right?
A very interesting scholar.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Yeah, it's not you. Yeah.
Did you know the KPI index? You know what that is, right?
DPI?
KPI.
No, what's that?
Okay.
That's a kinky pervy institution.
It's a qualifying measure, a point of where you can look to expel people that should or shouldn't be amongst us in society. It's better than actually, you know, especially the way you have to litigate to it and see the results. So you have these index called KPI. Look it up, yeah. But it's one way of actually just saying to it. I've always thought, you know, people are deport. I think expel, but also you got to be careful of who you expel and why you expel and how you do, without the measurement of like you going to the ECHR and all that other crap that these fuckers try to pull on us. As in, if we control the executor, right? That's what you need. And these things have become too like far-fetched at the moment. We have to actually take hold of this very soon, or crazies are going to be in, you know, the commons, man.
Yes, we're awake to this.
It's going to happen. We've got to be careful.
We are awake to this, yes.
How do we get that into that position of power where we can reverse what's happened? Not reverse, alter the course that we're on.
I think things are going to come to a head anyway, because we've forgotten about what makes us who we are as Britons. You know, our strengths and our resilience. And, you know, I think that's coming to a head because the middle class are finally being felt hard. You know, all of those that are rich have run away and, you know, hidden their money. But the people that can't, you know, they're still here. There's a number. It can work. It's just how you actually, again, fundamentally brand this stuff and use what we have in law rather than get it challenged and set it through. We really have it in motion. It's just how you fucking word it. Bang, there it goes. And it's not a racist thing. It's not like we're gonna kick people out for now. It's a measurement of where we sit and how you dispensate this problem. Especially if we could, like, because I don't want to see a benefit system this big, personally, or government in this country this big. It's really disgusting that we have such a big government, right? I mean, we shouldn't, man. We should be able to actually collectively control our own land. Have those freedoms amongst our counties.
That's a bit like communism.
No, it's not communism in that. No. Communism says that you don't get the choice. You have what you are, and you do what you do. Right? That's it. We have freedom of we can make I guess you know, cooperatives. We could measure that better with ourselves. We don't enough as Britons. Our identity among the counties.
Yes, we could have better communities. I absolutely would agree with that.
Yes.
But these things can easily be reignited to make us remember why we have them.
Yes, well, it seems we've got to, like, you know, trust me, bro, with Rupert Lowe. It seems that way anyway.
Well, yeah, he's the intellectual, isn't he? He's like the Israeli, you know, sort of thing.
I don't know if it's not Israeli.
How is it like an Israeli?
Don't know what I mean.
I don't understand that point. What is he like? How is he like an Israeli? Hello? Okay. Well, thanks for that.
So it's the intellectual point of view with Disraeli.
Oh, Disraeli.
Disraeli.
Disraeli, yeah.
It sounded you said you thought he was an Israeli.
No, I didn't say that. Did I?
No, we had a silence, and like we kind of a you know, we're pro Israel, well, pro Jewish channel, if you like.
Yeah. I mean, I couldn't know that. I mean,
but the awkward silence. I was half expecting a man's bottom to come up on the screen.
No,
because that's been happened before.
He's too well spoken for that.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah. I don't know what Disraeli were like. I didn't really start following politics until like 2 years ago or so. You know, yeah.
He's not my area.
No, I mean, Advanced UK would have been good for it with their college structure, but it seems that's kind of broken at the one of the top levels of the directorship. So, you know, that's unfortunate, really, because that structure was golden. But
I mean, you know, like the May elections are coming up, correct?
Yeah,
and that's going to wipe the floor with what's going to happen with Labour.
Oh yeah.
And that guy is still going to hold on to his, you know,
yeah, well, whatever. Yeah,
you ain't going anywhere. That guy.
Yeah, I mean, on the good side, on the good side, at least the Muslims, the Islamic vote has now ditched Greens. Yeah, today. Yeah, today because of that gay dance they were doing on the. Yeah,
oh yeah,
exactly what I thought.
Muffin Ali do it.
Yeah, they've left the Greens. They said no, we don't want anything to do with it because of this dance that we're doing.
Well, I respect them for that.
Great.
They have got some integrity after all.
Yeah, but of course that's going to obviously you know counter react on the Muslim votes and the Greens. Like, you know, they're not going to be as strong. So hopefully, if Rupert Lowe gets everything together, we should be able to get him in. Like, you know,
the problem is that does he have the representation? Enough people to stand.
He's got some
exactly to manage that is going to be very difficult. If
he needs 326 seats.
Yeah, he has got something from what I gathered today.
Look, I'm living in England.
Yeah,
I was born in this country. I grew up out in Africa.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have no criminal record at all. I've got no debt. I can actually. I'm military as well. I'm ex-military, West Country unit. Okay. I reckon I really need to stand. And I have that. Yeah. How do I go about? What do you reckon I need to do?
Well, I won't go back to Africa again.
Why?
Well, they're supposed to be killing all farmers, aren't they?
I mean, my sister still lives out there in Cape Town. She won't leave. You know, I have a family in America. You know, I've got family everywhere. I'm one of the. If I take myself to be the truth, I grew up a Mormon in South Africa.
Oh, did you?
What is South Africa like for a white person?
Well, when I was growing up, it was wonderful in some ways, till the apartheid. But I do remember people coming in from Yugoslavia, Herzegovina, who were, basically refugees during that war.
Yeah.
When I get to see there, and again, vice versa. It wasn't just South Africa. I went to Botswana and Namibia as well.
Okay, in South Africa, only because I've heard about this, was there a huge difference between the white and the black communities and the level of investment and the level of sort of infrastructure?
I mean, there's always yes, in areas, of course, yes, but when I was growing up there, a lot was, I think, with de Klerk and Buerta at that time. They were trying to invest. I also think a lot of like what we have as the Commonwealth. Remember what Britain, Portugal, France, Germany. You know, come on, guys, let's go forward from this. Okay, where we are, is that a lot of it was broken down because of communistic views to SWAPO, ZAPO, and other. You know, it's easy to bribe people if you want.
Yeah, the reason I mention it is because we started off talking about racism and saying how it really doesn't. What passes as racism now is very, very far removed from real racism, which obviously was what you would have seen during apartheid.
Yeah, oh yeah. I've seen terrible things. Yeah. I mean, really, like, because not just then and there, it's how it was. You understand the danger of
becoming like South Africa.
No, I mean, the problem is, again, it's not the South Africa attitude. It's the accountability of it. Because if if you have strong sort of, you did wrong there, boy, I'm going to teach you. It stops the next, if you don't.
And there were none of that. There were none of that.
That was that video from Clapham.
But yeah, exactly what I'm like. hinting to. Yeah, exactly. It shows you what goes down when this doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And how it diminishes what is and should be an authoritarian or authority of why we do this, because we shouldn't have something people go, oh, you're doing this because of. You always have that. I mean, I believe, I don't know how real this is, but they found a tunnel, 19 meters deep, coming in from Morocco to Spain. Tunnels with railways, air things, filters, all of it.
I can't believe.
And they've, for drugs. They were piping up and down from Morocco.
Far is it?
I mean,
Morocco.
So so I've been asking, are they going to be our HS2 project managers?
Yeah. When was
we could employ those engineers, couldn't we? Put them to
exactly. Thank you. Exactly that.
When,
don't dispute.
I like it.
Yeah, exactly. Now the power that the establishment doesn't like is that the power is now in all our hands. And if we really are really smart as a human entity, as what we can be to have the stars, we can make this happen.
There is a big problem, though. A big problem.
Yeah, identity.
People aren't voting at the moment.
Come on, man.
Yeah. There's only about 18% of people that get their news, from YouTube and from the internet. Most of them are still blinded by BBC and mainstream media, unfortunately.
When was South Africa at its worst? Because my uncle and auntie moved out there. Their son married a South African, and I think they must come back maybe 10, 15 years ago because of the trouble they had to, because they said they'd end up getting killed out there. But I can't think what sort of era that was. And obviously where they're white, but she white South African herself. So they, being white, they said, no, we've got to move. I can't think that was like 10, 15 years ago or so. Because I know the farm issue and that, but
for me was when it hit hard. It was 94, right? And then that's when the height of the violence for me I saw, and it was bad.
The District 6, I think, was one, wasn't it?
No, you know where Soweto and Alexandra are.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been there.
Wow.
I've been to Katutura in Namibia. I mean, I've been around. I've traveled, but I wasn't. Most of the time, no. The danger is if you're an idiot, if they know. I mean, seriously. I mean, most of Africa where I've been, I've loved it, man, and I've been around Africa.
Oh my God! Look who's joined us. It's a Scottish Gandhi. How are you, boy?
Slim.
Fished his shower and he's had his tea.
Yeah, your age.
Nice and clean and full up.
He had his hair cut.
Yes,
I have. Yes.
There you go.
Looking very sharp today, Slim.
Thank you very much.
Have you got a date?
Hey, I have tomorrow.
If I did, I'd be dodging and diving.
Diving. Yeah.
Where were we?
That must have looked like Glasgow, what you saw in Clapham. Probably you're used to that. Feral youth running around rioting.
Pub turning out time in Glasgow, that.
It can get a bit wild when the Rangers and Celtic are playing, I'll tell you.
Yeah, I bet it can.
Or that sectarian nonsense.
This guy's west is Glasgow here, is it? Oh, jeez.
Yeah, Glasgow.
No, it's cool. I understand. I mean, I did train up there in Gaelic Head. I believe you know where it is, Slim?
Yeah.
Yeah, easy. Yeah, so that was a terrible tour. It wasn't even a tour. It was like a good 4 weeks. Ooh, in the winter. Ooh.
Well, you're lucky because in the summer the midges are there.
I know. Yeah. But in the winter you slide down the hill, bro. You can't fucking walk in here. You can't sleep. It's just like, you want to anchor yourself somewhere. Please. Oh, dude, it was so difficult. And actually, I had Highlanders as my oh God, those guys, dude. Jesus, man. They're like, I swear, they're my demons in the head. But they made it good, huh? But anyway,
never been that far north, I'm afraid. North Wales is the furthest I've ever been north.
Yeah, same here. And that would take directly across. No, Manchester, but don't talk to me about fucking Manchester. The amount of shit I've had nicked from chuffing Manchester Airport has been ridiculous.
Oh, I've been to Manchester twice, and both times I absolutely fucking hated it. It's the only place I've ever felt scared.
Yeah.
Did not like it.
I had 300 quid €300 go missing. No, it was pound, because I hadn't changed it then. I was waiting to get over into Munich, where my sister lived, because she gave me a decent exchange rate. So I had 300 quid in my wallet. It were in front of my bag. When I got there, I took it out front of my bag, empty of all my money. And then last time I went, it were a pair of sunglasses. I've had a phone go missing there. And then, lo and behold, we got fleeced as well, because apparently we didn't pay the £4 parking charge. So I ended up with 60 quid fine. Well, my cousin did.
Bastard Manchester.
I fucking hated it. Yeah.
I hate it.
But dude, Manchester was where I had to get a flight from. Oh,
yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Manchester Airport was. Oh, what the
horrible.
Fuck is this? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I don't know if I've had a night out in Manchester, but I've done something there.
Yeah.
But I do remember the red brick and very long all of boulevards that they made up. It was something like that. But yeah, it's definitely not that great, is it?
No, Liverpool's nice, much nicer.
I've seen Liverpool as well, and I had a terrible time there. So
Yeah.
I'm going to come back. Yeah, my granddad's born there, so I had to go there for my little pilgrimage 2 years. Where he was born and stuff.
Yeah.
And you have to go back to places you're from.
Yeah.
Just to know.
If I were to go there, it's only a mile down road.
I
They
mean,
could have left my umbilical cord attached, and I'd still be all right from hospital to where I live.
yeah.
From Prescott.
Yeah.
So actually, if there was something with Labour, what would you say with that guy? What is he? West Streeting. That's right, from Liverpool. Yeah. Is it the deadpan waiting because of his friend? He did.
It'll be the same. Whichever one replaces him, it won't be any different.
Okay, so anyone that come in.
Well, it could be. Yeah, if it's Angela Rayner, for example,
or Red Miliband.
Oh,
no, please don't do that. Please don't do that. Please, no, please don't.
I'd rather be nuked than have him in charge.
I wouldn't be nuked, but please don't say that. Don't say that.
Jesus.
Ed, will he bring back his big stones? Remember those stones?
His little blue ukulele. No, I think, to be honest, I think that they've had their day. I don't think they've got a chance in hell of ever getting back in, and I think that they are seeing it as 3 years to accelerate everything that they want to do.
Or a left coalition.
Yeah, that's the big worry. If the Greens continue in popularity, then yes, that is a big worry.
Yeah.
Because I think the only way that you're going to see Rupert get in is through a coalition. I don't see that.
We're not a presidential. We're a parliamentary system. Stop thinking about just Rupert. Think about his access to and how one system needs to grow.
I don't think he's got the team yet, though.
He's got a lot of money. Yeah, I don't know.
And especially as he doesn't want politics. I do people that know politics in order to.
I do tend to agree with you there. Plastic. Is that what I've got? I have to call you plastic.
Yeah, bro.
Or PA. That's the short PA.
Yeah.
That sounds cool. Yeah, what's up, PA?
Yeah. I agree. There isn't really that much of a communication route up to Rupert Lowe, and that's something I'm always bringing up. Because with Advance, we did have that community. Well, we had the illusion of that kind of thing.
Yeah,
we could do.
Of course.
If it were run properly, then it would have been absolutely brilliant. But
this is where either Rupert Lowe needs to integrate like the youth into his atmosphere. Right?
Well, he has got a lot of young ones in there.
No, but not enough to actually go to like what Storm is trying to do with all the other social media crap that he's trying to ban in the first place. Because I disagree with that as kids as well. Let them know.
He's got a distinct advantage there, and he's got the university capture, so he can rely on that.
Yeah,
that's something that needs to.
That is all left-leaning propaganda arm of the universities. All, of course, most of them supported by Qatar, I believe.
Yeah, all Blair's idea, and of course, loads of migration come in on student visas along with their family to prop up the economy because of all the people that are coming over here. And
it's GDP, isn't it? Yeah, upon every head.
Yeah, I don't give a shit about GDP. I don't know if anyone in the country does, apart from Rachel Reeves.
No. Our society does, because that's how they can borrow against us. Yeah, that's the problem. That's where we need to disintegrate this idea. It's terrible.
No, I agree with that.
It's really
is how to do it without causing societal collapse. Because change always has to be incremental. Any sudden change.
No, this is why I say the KPI index could work so well, because you can put that into motion without challenging many law structures anyway. And
how does it work? Because I don't know this.
I don't want to start now. You began explaining it, but then you paused for a while, and we thought you were going to show us your bottom or something. So
it's a metric system.
Where does it come from?
I guess it comes from failures, from good and pass rates, if you will. So there's a pass rate. It's a programming code tool, or KPI, where if you have a variable of so much numbers, it's where the end what you want to take out. If
it's got numbers,
it works.
You've lost me already. If it's got
look it up, Jake. Look it up and then fill us in. Look it up. Explain it like you would to a 5-year-old, and then we can listen to you and probably give you some feedback on it, mate.
Yeah, that's how I like to approach things. Say it like it's.
Well, it looks like we're all buggered then, doesn't it?
Works perfect.
We're relying on you getting this sorted out and find out what it means. KPI, not KPM. That's kilometers per hour. No, that's KPH. See?
What, you want me to look it up now?
No, not now. No, when you've got time.
I have to say, I don't want to ruin any surprises, but I did find something really, really good about Rendlesham Forest yesterday that I could not believe.
Really?
Nice. When are we to do that?
It's to do with the CIA.
Okay, hang on. 1 2 1 2. Can you hit me here? Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you, PA. Your PA is working fine, PA.
Yeah. Okay, and the KPI.
Yeah, the KPI.
Sorry,
yeah.
Okay. When do you want to do that Rendlesham Forest chat then, Jake?
Hang on.
Whenever you would like to do it, I'm happy to do.
I'll email you then.
On Monday?
I'll email you.
Oh, yeah, no problem. No problem.
And then we're sort because then I'll put it in up for long enough so it gets into the algorithm and people pick up on it. So hopefully it'll be a good popular stream. But it will be a wizard who investigates. So, but
I've been into various different things. I'm going to base it on evidence. All the evidence will be things that people can go and look up. It's not hard to find, so it will be truth-based. And then I've tried to look at as many different possibilities as are reasonable, so that people can make up their own mind.
Kushti. Right, and to write down email Jake Rendlesham so I don't forget.
Can you give a brief summary of this weird thing that you found out?
Okay. Here we go.
Of what I found
out.
No,
you can't.
Yeah.
No, Jake can't. He's keeping it secret. So shut up, Jake.
It's secret.
But it's all right.
Relax.
Let PA speak. Come on.
We'll have to wait.
PA, yes. KPI, please.
Yeah, sorry. Key performance indicators is just that I'm a lawyer. So what you do with
Your voice has changed.
He's going through transition.
Yeah, it just transitioned, has he? Okay.
Yeah, the concept's simply that instead of having like a material breach of a contract, where something's so dreadful that you just say we're going to get rid of you, you have a performance schedule that gives KPIs and says, oh, these little things, these little other things, lots of things you should be doing. And the analogy is if you do them in society, if you do too many of them wrong, then there are consequences, that's all. So
you mean like bringing in some kind of law or some kind of rule too quickly?
Credit system.
Well, yeah, it would be great if the government had KPIs, because they don't at all. But
if the government, yes, I agree, they should. But
it would have to be government, yeah. But so to say, well, you can't really get in touch with Rupert Lowe or Nigel Farage or any of the big parties, because they're all in their own little bubbles of security.
Yeah, they're all together on it. It's just a concept, but it could also apply to citizens if they, instead of just putting people away, it's a way of judging their performance, basically, as citizens.
My issue with that is because I worked as a teacher and we had to go through performance management and all of that sort of thing. I've seen how it works, and I can see how easily it can be manipulated. And
agreed.
Yeah, that's my issue. But I'd be really happy to see it done to MPs.
Yeah, it's a responsibility thing, and as I say, as a lawyer, it's simply a way of trying to manage a long-term relationship rather than just saying it's not working, so we're fucking off.
No, I agree. There's got to be some way to sort things out. Basically, is what we're trying to say, isn't it?
Yeah, some positive about it, just saying, because otherwise the brutal thing is we vote you out, but that's not seeming to work, is it?
Because if this were done for ordinary people, though, that would be really quite worrying, because who's going to be handling that data? Who's in control of that data?
Data's already there, though. It's who's actually managing it right now with what they have. It
would turn into a kind of Chinese system, but it might be something for criminals. That's all.
I can understand the principle behind it. Yes, it would take a lot. I'd take a lot more convincing, though. I think at the moment, I'd have to see that it would have some sort of measurable impact on behaviours, for example.
So from the teaching system, what do you? I mean, there's no real solution. I'm a lawyer, so I don't get involved in that stuff. But that's obviously the future, and all those good things. Do you have any thoughts about how things should change? Because I know education's changed a lot since I was a child.
Well, certainly the performance system, I think, could be radically overhauled, because I think it's far too subjective. I've seen people who I know were very good at their job get hounded by senior management because they weren't doing it a certain way. And I think that that's fundamentally wrong. People should have autonomy in the classroom to teach however they like, as long as it gets results. And I think that there definitely needs to be a severing of politics from education.
Yeah, absolutely. Religion and politics shouldn't really be part of that.
Yeah, I do think that there should be a Christian ethos in school.
Yeah, a religious education. Yeah, we had that at school. I mean, it was boring, but yeah, we had that at school. That's where I know majority of the Bible things from.
But I think that that's more to do with morals and standards and behaviour.
Yeah.
And certainly one area that really does need drastic improvement is discipline and sanctions. And when I taught, I was quite lucky in that I generally got on all right with the kids. So I never, ever gave a detention because I didn't see the point of it. And personally, I'm not going to give up an hour of my time to go and sit there with someone who's been fucking about. So I'd rather just have a stern word with them. If they really piss me off, then I'll speak to their parents about it. That was enough for me. But that doesn't work for everybody. And there does need to be things in place that are strict, non-negotiable, and that the parents can't come in and complain about, because that's something.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I was very lucky to go to I'd say a really good school. It was a girls' school, so all of that malarkey was absent. But there definitely was a complete divide between teachers like yourself, who could come in with authority without necessarily being, you know, I'm going to kill you kind of thing, but had respect basically.
Yes.
And those, I mean, I do remember as a sort of 12, 13, about 3 teachers leaving because we were quite mean to them, but they couldn't take it, and it was you know, this is a good school. It's not a sort of violent thing. It's just they didn't have that ability to teach. So how do you bring those kind of teachers that can come into a classroom and actually people go, okay, I'm gonna, you know.
Well, some of those teachers, to be honest, some of them shouldn't be in the classroom, because I have seen teachers who are like that and who are weak, and the kids pick up. So there should be higher standards in that regard. But at the same time, there are some kids who can be very, very cruel, and in some schools, there probably are kids that would go out of their way to bully staff, and so there needs to be things in place to sort that out. But Defiant Fox, let me just clarify something, because I saw what you put in there.
Yeah, I did. I'm going to bring it up. Yeah, go on.
This should have the authority, is what I'm saying. They should have the right to do whatever they want, but they don't at the moment. Is what I was saying. So they shouldn't have to say any of that trans and LGBT shit. That would not have happened in my class. No way.
Yeah.
In fact, there was some book, I remember it, and it had a gay kiss in it. I threw the book in the bin. They found that very funny.
A gay kiss? How do you do a gay kiss?
I wouldn't know. I've never tried.
Well, I know, but what does one look like?
But I don't
know. No, I don't like
it was in a book. I don't know.
Oh, right. I don't really like to see that thing around on television.
But no, this is one thing that I will say that proves what my point about politicization. The last school that I worked in, which I wasn't there for that long, didn't really like. I remember as I was leaving, I saw a poster on the wall for the gender-bred man, and I'd just come out of an assembly in which the head teacher had said that she had wanted to make the school the first LGBT school in the country. And I thought, for fuck's sake. Bear in mind the fact she's a dyke, all of the senior management are dykes, most of the heads of department there are dykes. There's a bit of a mafia. And I don't think that, you know, they can do whatever they like in their private lives, no business of mine, but they should not be bringing that into schools and saying, you know, this is how you should be behaving.
And of course, schools have I imagine, quite a strict DEI code to their employment. So, you know, and then if they churn them out the education system as, you know, DEI hires. Just saying. Yeah,
I when I was teaching, that wasn't really the case, but I've finished in 2018, so that may have progressed since then. Probably, I would imagine a lot has changed since COVID, when it was completely, the school system just went to shit, really, didn't it?
Yeah, when it was Zoom calls, weren't it?
A whole year of school kids have got GCSE grades that were made up.
Yeah, I'll just eat Lou. See you in a bit.
Although, to be honest, quite a lot of exam grades are made up, because what often happens is, before GCSEs and A-levels, all teachers have to submit a predicted grade based on, you know, all of the work that's been done to date. That gets sent off to the exam board in the case that somebody hasn't been able to mark the papers. And of course, they don't manage to get all the papers marked because people don't want to do it. So quite a few just get based on predicted grades. So I would always make sure that I put them as high as possible. Because another thing that happens in schools, sorry to go on a rant about them, but far too much money is spent on teaching kids at the lower end of the teaching spectrum, and not enough is spent on the top end in pushing the brightest students from working class backgrounds, and particularly giving them a grounding in culture, because a lot of them have never been to the theatre, for example. A lot of them have never been to a library. They don't, apart from the school library. And once they're introduced to things like that, then I found that they're very responsive to it. And I was fortunate in that the schools that I was in weren't far from London, and so we could take them on a school trip, for example, to the Globe Theatre at, where is it, Southwark. and they get a tour, and they get to go and work with the actors as well, and they get to watch them do some rehearsals, and it's quite fun actually, and they enjoy that. But a lot of kids
were the classes segregated into their qualifications sort of thing, and that, I mean, well, there separate classes in every year for those of different capabilities, like from remedial up to the engineers.
That's how it used to be, isn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Now, in a comprehensive school, yes, they're put into sets. They wouldn't call them remedial today, though. They would just call them probably the lower set or something like that. Some bollocks, but that's what it means. But I didn't really have that because I worked in grammar school, so they weren't really in sets. But that doesn't mean that every single person in the class was brilliant at English, because you'd get kids that were great at science and were shit at English. But
what about your lad, Slim? Do you worry about him at school?
No, sorry? Because my boy's autistic.
Is he?
So they worry about him. I don't worry about them. He's there wrecking up a place and taking a lot of girls' hell, you know what I mean?
Quick, Bobby, change the subject. Let's talk about Islam.
No, I don't.
What age am I
today?
Bobby, your lot have got a lot to answer for. And we're blaming you for it.
He's having a night off. He's having a night off. But, well, I'm doing what Richard just done, go to the toilet. So all behave and talk, because I'm not going to be here to mute you. But, yeah, be nice to Bobby. That's what I'm saying.
And try and make it one at a time, guys. Otherwise, you just start talking over each other, and then each other's voices break into each other, and so yeah. Bobby.
Yes, fellas. I was just catching Jake's words on. He was talking about kids that disrupt, and the kids that kind of deserve more of a chance, or more of a backing, or that kind of support. Right. So you see what you're saying, Jake. This is kind of what I used to crave as a younger guy, as a child in school, and I used to crave that loving, peaceful environment all the time. I never got it my whole life. Do you know what I mean? I thought I had it once when I was a child with both my parents and that. Never got that my whole life yet. And the schools I went to, they were all disruptive.
Yeah.
So this is all this London talk, all this roughness of London. I've lived right through it. I see it all firsthand.
Yeah.
And I hated it, bro. And this is true as well, because on Luton's channel, I always said that I left Luton, came to London, I hated it in London. This is why. See all the things you lot are seeing? Yeah? I saw that young growing up. So I come here, went to a school when I was in the hostels in Willesden, in Cricklewood. There was one called William Gladstone, while I was living in a hostel there with my mums and that. And that school was so dangerous and disruptive, which literally within the first week, Moroccan guy, black guy, just gave me beef the whole week. Kept trying to push me about, fight me the whole week. The new guy, let's start on him, right? And then bloody hell, they won't leave me. I'd go home and tell my mum, so mum, look, the guys are starting on me. Mum, don't cause trouble here. This ain't Luton. You haven't got Paul and Michael to help you here, and in my language, obviously, right? You ain't got your friends here to help you. No one's going. I go, yeah, but Mum, why'd you leave Luton then? Do you know what I mean? I knew that I'd never liked London. Do you get it? Other than seeing my cousins and that, every time I came to London, 50% of the time, something a bit funny happened. Do you know what I mean? That someone might try to rob my money or something. It was, this was even in the Wembley area, supposedly good area, bro. Back then, even, when I used to come on the Wembley, Willesden, Cricklewood, Kingsbury, this kind of northwest London area, this is considered a reasonably good area, right? So then, then I used to think, so then I got all these shitty schools, and then getting into fights all the time, and I'm a person that wants to play football and study and get on with everyone. Do you know what I mean? Well, honest to God. But then I'm surrounded by people that want to show off, that want to make a career out of being a tough guy. And that didn't register with me. Do you know what I mean? Because in Luton, I was used to, when people want to compete or do something, we did a sport. We played football. Do you know what I mean? Do you see what I'm trying to say?
That's why I think that there are two big problems that if we're talking about specific schools like that, and I only worked in one when I was training that was like that, I know those kids are really responsive if you gave them confidence. And I think that really it's a problem. The problem is partly the curriculum, in that it serves no basis for their life whatsoever. And so if they're not interested in it and it's not doing anything for their life, they don't care. And secondly, there's no discipline. Now, some other kids, they might be better off if they're a bit competitive, for example. If they were doing a trade, then they might be able to show off some of their competitive skills with people. And
artisan work that they can have, right? Malleable stuff.
Business.
No, but it's malleable. They need to understand things. They need to have classwork, wood shop, welding. And before even understanding that, they got to understand the motions of it. You know what I mean? Fitness with that, good food. Yes. You know what I mean? There's always patterns to that, and family virtues. We have to.
Even when I come to London, fellas, I kind of look, there was kind of like, people kind of lack skills here, like little things as a kid that you might be good at. It might be something silly that you're good at, but that becomes something meaningful when you're later in your life. If that makes sense. It could be anything. It could be good at marbles, and all of a sudden you're a really amazing bowls player. Do you know what I mean? Right? When I come to London, these people like had no skill, nothing, and they had no interest. Like when I came here, obviously I had interest, but then when I was like in my mid-teens, 14, 15, obviously I was heavily into gaming. I was heavily into cars. I couldn't drive. But I knew how to wire car stereos up at the age of 14, 15, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So my gateway into cars was through car stereos and music. And because I enjoyed my music. My music was my gateway into car stereos, the car stereos into cars. And do you see what I mean? Like this. These guys didn't have anything like that. And I come something even a little bit separate, whether it's fishing, anything a little bit separate. London people, they're like a bit retarded.
That is exactly what I would try and do, Bobby. I would go out of my way, and I'd set them to work, and I'd go around, I'd talk to them about their work, but I would try and find out something about them, so that I could ask them, like, it's unlikely that a girl would be interested in fishing, but it could have happened, and I would have said, "Oh, did you go fishing at the weekend? What did you catch?" And that's how you get through to people, and you build their confidence in that way.
Yeah, but these days,
weirdly enough, I mean, not too long back, I was going into town to see somebody, and on the bus, I saw this lad. It looked like the world of the earth was on his shoulders, and literally like an Atlas moment. And he looked, I should have got up and said, "Dude, you need to be a model. That face of yours, remember it." And I did. I just, I should have. I knew it. And I was like, fuck it, I'm in my own world, I'm not going to start it. Because I don't know what's around me anymore. And I shouldn't, again, I tell that to you because it's my guilt there.
Yeah.
Like once when we were running around a place called the Nuki in Kenya. Oh my God. This guy fell dead, man. We should have saved him. Terrible. Walked away.
Look, even basic skills, fellas, like just silly things. I'd test them because I started to realize these guys are a bit like that. And then you're talking now, I'm like 28, 29, 30, and I still haven't seen so many people not develop any type of skill or ability or not even get good at one thing. So then I was just like, do you guys want to learn how to fit a car stereo? Oh, no, what do I want to do that for? I ain't got time for that. Do you guys want to learn how to clean a car properly? Because I just like to hit them below the belt to see what would they move for? What would make them move and do something?
Yeah,
Do you want me to show you how to refurbish a car, like a bodywork and that? No, why am I going to do that? Because do you know how fucking amazing it is if you know how to do this type of thing? Loads of people don't know how to do it. I show you if the car look brand new again, your bare hands and a couple of machines. Right?
If they
don't want to know
reward for that as well, that would perhaps get them out of some of the habits they're getting into when they're on the streets, because they can make money without running the risk of going to prison.
Exactly, man. If you find something that absorbs you in that, like I managed to do it.
So
unless they're getting flipping sex out of it, money out of it, or something. Do you know what I mean? They don't want to move.
So what do you think?
Or a computer game. This is the rule flipping brought in this society, the computer game. And I used to be a major game player, second best Nintendo player when I was 14, 15, I won, Nintendo Challenger Tour competition, I gave all that up because I saw how retarded it was becoming. The fun from games was being removed. Do you know what I mean? The fun games of the Amiga, the Spectrum, and that, the simplicity of games, that all of that, the cleanness of them started to go as well. And I'm thinking,
proper games like Jet Set Willy.
Exactly, man. Exactly. These people, man. Yeah, and we've got all these silly 3D games that take like one game would take like 2 years to finish and that. Do you know what I mean? Like, what's the point in that?
What do you think, though, Bobby, with people in that situation? Like, what might make them understand that there is a reason why they need to behave, and there's a reason why they should learn skills?
Bro, I don't know, bro, but like I start to see how bad it is, man. Like I said, from a young age, and then you think as you're getting older, people are gonna get good at things or something, and they never did. So,
I think the one thing that they don't have, and I was really pleased at the schools I worked in that they did this, is I think a lot of kids don't have access or opportunity. And I can think of one girl I taught. She was from a really rough background. She sounded as if she was from a really rough background as well. You wouldn't have thought that she was incredibly smart to talk to her, believe me, and she wouldn't mind me saying that. But yet the school offered things such as they did debating clubs, they did trips to the Houses of Parliament, they did trips to go to courts to watch trials, all these little things that were free that the school offered. She went to every single one of them, and she ended up as a lawyer.
Now this is it. You see, when you're kind of that's a part of it as well, Jake. Like if you see some serious things, adults doing serious things, you do take an interest. Like when my dad opened his shop after the Vauxhall factory lost a job, I got intrigued because that's where he taught me how to run a till. And when I come to London, this is the thing. So when I got my first job in London, in let's say, first like supermarket job, I worked in a restaurant for a bit, but then first supermarket job at the age of 16 is in Iceland, and they were making me stack shelves and that, and they wouldn't let me go near the till. And I'd be like, oh, when am I going to get to go on the till? When am I going to get to go on the till? Because that was like a little bit of bit more relaxing than always just.
So you groomed? Are you saying you groomed, bro?
Yeah, and they'd say to me, "Oh, but you're not till trained, are you? You're not till trained."
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But I am. Well, I got till trained in my dad's shop when I was 8 years old. How could you be? You were working when you were 8, and I goes, yeah, I used to go with my dad all the time. What do you mean? And then they put me on the till. I was just straight me.
But I think those skills are really important. You know, they could take kids out, for example, to I was going to say a building site, but that would be really stupid to take kids to a building site. But somewhere where they can see the trade happening, and they can.
Remember I said I was into video games. No one showed us how video games were made. You know, like how Nintendo games are conceived, produced, the cartridges from every inception stage. No one. It was like voodoo, bro. It was like a mystery. No one knew where things were produced. They just ended up in a Dixon shelf.
Yeah, and on that subject, my mate's got a little kid at 51st dates. He's got a kid who's about 7 or 8 year old, right? And he says, "Oh, I'm gonna hack him, like, you know, this guy that is playing on his on his game console. I'm gonna hack him." I said, "Well, why? You an hacker?" He said, "Yeah." And then he just puts his aimbot on, right? And I think that's hacking. I said, "That's not hacking. That's not even computer programming. Do you want to know how to computer program?" So I've got a game, right? It's kind of a game, but also it teaches you programming and stuff. It's called Game Maker. And all I did was just get an object. I said, just add another object, look onto your first room, right? And that object contains all the things that you want this particular character to do. Yeah. And then all you do is add an icon onto that particular character. I said, and then I just made him like spin round, you know, once every second. So he'd spin round, and then I made him move into the bottom corner of the screen. I said, there you go, pressed it, it worked perfectly. It were already bored. Yeah. It were already had his head in his phone, just looking at his TikTok. Oh, all right, fair enough. There you go.
Well, one thing I will say is that this is a pattern that I noticed, is that a lot of the time the kids that were the naughtiest actually were doing it for the attention. Yeah. And I know that because they would tell me once they'd grown up, and they would say, "I'm sorry, I used to do that. I just wanted the attention." And so a lot of kids aren't getting attention at home, and that might be the only attention they get all day. Yeah. And so, you know, that some of that is down to the family circumstances. It's not necessarily the parents' fault. Sometimes it is the parents' fault, of course. Yeah. But there's so many different social factors that go on that you have to consider when you do that job as well. It's not...
Jake, ultimately, my friend, is what I'm saying is that Luton, where I was from, felt like a reasonably healthy society. It wasn't perfect, right? But then when I moved to London, I've noticed and felt a step down. Do you get it? And I'm a kid and I'm noticing this. And I wasn't the most cleverest guy in Luton. I was just average, below average, you know? I was a happy kid, not doing my work, messing around. my mates, you know, half the time, yeah. But when I come to London, I noticed it felt like people like 1-2 years behind me. You know, and they were really noisy and loud in London. That wasn't like that in Luton. In Luton, if teacher come in, kids will make a little bit of noise. All right, fellas, right, kids, let's get on with it. That's it. Everyone's getting on with work. In London, yeah, it's like, all right, kids, like, we need to get on with the lesson. Oh, shut up, don't tell me what to do, yeah. Who are you, yeah? And they'll do all this. This is the difference.
Yeah. Was this because, and maybe I misheard this last time, but didn't you say that when you were in Luton, that it wasn't quite as multicultural at that time?
Yes. Because I lived in a part of town which is majority English and Scottish and, you know, kind of all white space.
So you went from that.
Right, let me make it a bit clearer. I lived in Dunstable.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that town was majority white. And then there was a Pakistani side, Bangladeshi Indian side, which was the Bury Park side, which is like, for example, you've got 3 top parts of Luton. Let's say you've got the airport. You've got the airport. Let's start this way. You've got the airport. Yeah. Then you've got the Pakistani kind of area, let's say the ethnic area, right? Then you've got my kind of old town.
Right.
Yeah. So you've got the airport, shopping centre, Arndale Centre. Yeah. Then you've got the Indian.
So you're a posh cunt, right?
Yeah. And then you've got like the English part of town, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I lived in the English part, didn't know the other parts existed.
Didn't know there was a Pakistani part.
Yeah, I didn't know, because when we used to get the bus from my area, we used to catch a bus and used to go all the way from Dunstable all the way to the Arndale Centre, but it would go around the whole Asian area, so I never saw it.
But do you think, and obviously, you know, you answer this however you feel, you know, is right. Do you think that it was to do with the actual people? Was there a difference between the English people and the people that you were mixing with in London?
See, this is the problem. Then I'm thinking, is it a London people thing? Is it a race thing?
And not a race thing, cultural thing.
Cultural thing even.
So you mentioned how they would answer back and say, no, I'm not doing that, and all of this. That's a very...
Yeah, that happened a lot more in London. And like I said, it's just this ghetto, like, tough guy behaviour. And the guys and the girls are doing it. Don't tell me what to do. Don't tell me what to do. You know what I mean?
Hang on. Why did your parents move here?
Oh yeah, my parents split, you see, so they weren't getting on.
Okay, so they came to Britain because of why? I mean, why did they come to Britain? Is they worked here?
No, my parents, they moved there to work.
Your grandparents came here. 60s. Your grandparents or your parents?
So my great grandparents came with my parents.
There we go.
Yeah, so my great grandparents, my nan and that, when they came here, they were fairly wealthy. So when they came here, they kind of opened a shop on that.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? A couple of shops on that. They were quite wealthy when they came here, so they actually invested in that sense. Yeah, I mean, my family was poor. Yeah, the other, 60% of the family was kind of relatively poorish. You know,
and that was what time you reckon? 1940, 1920?
I were in England.
1920, 1930?
No. My nan's in these like 65,
1965?
After 65. It was after 65 some point.
Okay, so after the war. So where the money needed to come in to Britain.
Yeah.
As well as was trying to suck in. We needed workers, you guys, as in, you guys are the trade. It's your fruit and vegetable, everything
That's exactly what they were doing. That's exactly what it was. Fruit and vegetable.
Yeah. I've had arguments. Many a grifter on this. Not you, but like society as a whole. From
government made a big mistake when they decided to extend Commonwealth citizenship, because they didn't realise how many people were actually going to come in.
Yeah. Right.
Mm-hmm. This is
on great expense. Yeah, on the greater expense.
Yeah, because they don't believe this current modern myth that people were brought here from Windrush.
I understand.
To rebuild. That is not true at all.
I understand.
The Pakistan community didn't really start coming until the sort of 70s, really.
But so what are we, like 90 years before World War II? If we go back, we're somewhere there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're sitting on this precipice now where we kind of goes and dreams of the old world. What is it?
But we have
all this stuff is coming to a head right now that society is looking at, even to the principles of, the bad ones.
Don't think they've been changing badly since 1990.
Well, yeah, but it's dragging its heels a lot. So what will Britain be in this crisis, where we see this crisis growing amongst ourselves?
You can see what we're lost. We're losing our fuel. They're under threat of losing food. It's going to be like World War I again.
Yeah, I mean, I'm prepared more than others. And believe me, I've always been prepared. It's better to be,
I was a Boy Scout.
Slim, do you really honestly think it's going to kick off?
Yeah, I do.
You do?
I think
everywhere or in certain places?
Well, I don't think it's going to be like a full-scale civil war like it was in America. What I think it's going to be is a lot of skirmishes here and there with people getting upset. Somebody will say something outside a pub or outside a shop, and there'll be a big riot, and they'll be persistent. And then there'll be a lot of people taking the grudge, taking the huff, and then there'll be a lot of what will be related to gang attacks. The churches, for instance, that are already getting burnt down with our Muslim cousins, that'll escalate, and then all the white people will get sick of it, and they'll start burning out the Muslims at the mosques. And then the mosques, the people in the mosques will get upset, and they'll start on the local communities and the whites, and then it'll just be a gradual escalation of unpleasantness rather than any sort of toe-to-toe pitch battle across a field.
And you think that this is inevitable because of the circumstances that we're in?
I think now it seems to be unavoidable. Things are getting worse. The fuel crisis, for instance, they're already stealing fuel in some parts, draining people's tanks, right? Things like that. Too many people will bring the race issue into it. Yeah. Too many people will help themselves. There's a lot of partisan people, and they will just help themselves to whatever's available.
Yeah, it's a distraction.
And then their connections will escalate with other people, and it will go on and on and on. What a feud.
Sorry, yeah.
See, we have a special guest in the corner.
Yeah, definitely special. Yeah.
Yeah. I hope that you're wrong, Slim. I really do hope that you are wrong.
I hope I'm wrong.
I don't know if I can disagree.
Every cross becomes a sword. Huzzah!
Yes, I'm not sure that I can.
That will help no one, right?
I think it will. I think that this summer is going to be really, really telling, because if things can be contained now, we might have some hope. But by the looks of things, it's already started.
Damn right, man. You know it, man. You know it's coming. You know that storm is there, been brewing for ages.
I don't know if it's going to be quite like that.
Well, I don't know.
It'll be sporadic. I think it'll be sporadic. Yeah. It'll be here or there, but everywhere.
Yeah.
And what it'll do is drag more and more people into it, and the ill will spread, even if the violence doesn't.
Yeah. I agree. That video earlier with that dickhead who lives next door to my mum moaning about taking the flags down. Something like that, in a few months, could turn into a stabbing, couldn't it?
Aye, and other people will get involved, right? There'll be arguments, people will hear the arguments, and then the tattle will drag other people into it, and then as the ill will grows, the potential for violence will grow.
Yeah, but the point is, it goes to the point really, like, without violence, you can be a recording. Everything that you do and everywhere we go, we can record you. And so if the violence doesn't happen, or if it does, we know how to get you. Right?
No face, no case.
The aspect of where, the sins of the fathers begin, right? For what we are telling ourselves. That's why, the old school, like, can't we let it rest? No, we know this happened. so now we require this, as it happens in front of us.
See, you can let things rest if you think that people are going to be genuinely apologetic or sorry for what's happened. But see, while these things are ongoing, see, while the grooming gangs are ongoing, these things will not change.
I mean, yeah, cool. What's the boss's name again? What's his name? The Sniffer? Is it called the Sniffer? You must have heard that.
No.
The boss.
Confused.
You mean Starmer?
Yeah, the Sniffer. Yeah.
Oh no, I heard him called that. Call him
He's a sniffer. He used to sniff his, crack, back in school.
Oh, I don't. Oh, right.
Yeah, I mean, you guys don't even know about that deep down thing, huh? Yeah, the guys are wrong. I don't care how it goes. If you want to go down to Blair, where was the institution really broken, Maggie? Before that,
Well, Blair.
I think it's been a gradual decay, to be honest.
Yeah, of course. From the war, because Britain was never given its reparation. Britain was never given its reparation. It fucking gave the world everything. And it has. I'm sorry. All the nations. Sorry.
But where it actually started is very hard to put your finger on. It's been a gradual decline for decades.
I agree with you, Slim. And I would say that the decline really goes back to the Edwardian period, because that's when we were at our peak. And then we had First World War, where we were absolutely decimated of our leadership class, but we still had our finances. But then the Second World War, that wiped us out. And ever since, we've been on a decline. We haven't really recovered from
financially, we've been in debt to America for all the decades on top of everything else.
Well, if you think about it, that what they effectively did is they effectively said, "Yeah, we'll help you out, but we're having your empire."
No, we stopped slavery. Slavery was one of our greatest. Yes, it was.
It was a long time before the Second World War.
No, it starts from there. The money that we had to give up on that. The notion.
We made very little from slavery.
Okay. So we'll
yeah, but it cost us a fortune.
It cost us a fortune to pay off the.
We've only just paid for reparations, haven't we? Just
I would just like to correct that, Richard. That is actually a leftist lie.
Oh, is it?
Because what actually happened is that loan was consolidated in the 1920s into another loan that was then consolidated into another loan after the Second World War, and it kept going on and on. Right. So the debt had actually been paid off, but the remnants existed in contracts. Okay. So it's technically, when they say that, it's not true.
Right.
Don't believe them.
Oh, sure. Block that particular leftist if I can remember who it was. Yeah.
Any of them say it.
Right, I'll see.
But yes, we were distracted then. Slim, you were making a very good point, and I've forgotten what it was.
A gradual decline.
That's a gradual decline, yeah. Would you agree that it goes back over the whole sort of 20th century, really?
Well, as I was saying, we were in debt to the Americans after the war for their input to the second law. When they come into it late, people keep telling you the Americans showed up late. But their manufacturing base was actually supporting us through the whole thing. And without their manufacturing giving us that support, we would have finished early on.
Yeah, we would, absolutely. 100%. And like I say, afterwards, they had all of these things, the Marshall Plan, etc., to give us all of these goods. But yeah, it was effectively to strip us of our economy because they were the up-and-coming superpower. And really, we haven't...
No, America was generally looking, I believe, at what it would gain from it. It couldn't care less. It came in late at the game and better of its hour.
Yeah, that's what we were saying.
Yeah, of course, but it wasn't for our dismissal was where it would sit, right?
Well, you could perceive it as being that they wanted us to be able to pay back our debt because we were wiped out and get none of it.
See you guys.
I don't think we'd have won World War II without the Americans.
We wouldn't.
No, would have been decimated, I think.
No, but
we didn't win World War II anyway. The Russians did.
No.
The Russians did.
If you want to be honest about it.
Slim said it. Amen to that. The Russians fucking did. On all angles.
All of it really is the First World War.
He's right, man, banging.
The First World War did not need to happen. It was something that could have been avoided if there had been the political will to do it, and it just didn't happen because of all the different treaties they had. And that's where everything has gone wrong, because after that, and it led to obviously World War II, but post-World War II is when they decided to restructure society so that something like that never happened again. That's where you get your universal international human rights.
Well, I personally have a strange view on World War One and what started it. In schools, they'll teach you that some guy for a Black Hand Gang lobbed a hand grenade at the Archduke Ferdinand of Austria-Hungary, and that kicked it off, right? Yeah. I'm going to tell you that, having looked into it once as a young boy, a slow postage service caused the First World War.
Because of the communications not getting there in time.
Yeah. The Russians, there was messages flying all over Europe to the, remember, United Royal Family of Europe, which was the same people that we knew of sitting as Windsor.
Yeah.
A mail service was sent, and a letter was sent to the Russian nobility, which arrived just too late. The Russians were quick off the mark and says, look, if we're going to survive this, if we're going to get involved, we don't know what's happening. They were panicking, and a letter arrived telling them, no, I would stand pat, a couple of days after they actually got involved. And they had started mobilisations. So the whole First World War could have been averted if the postal service was a wee bit faster. As in fact the case, if you look at all the elements involved and any single thing that could have stopped it.
I would be inclined to agree with that, because, as I say, I think it was the fault of diplomacy, really, and yeah, that would fit in perfectly with it. It could have been
the First World War.
Yeah.
I thought it was like the White and Red Army in that was being funded again by a lot of us, and
Well, the Russians and the Tsar were fabulously wealthy at the expense of the peasants.
Of course, I mean,
fabulously wealthy.
I mean, the whole thing about our empire was that it was victimhood, wasn't it?
It was what?
For the most part.
All Victoria's children went through, Germany into Russia, right?
Well, the whole royal family was part of the same bloodline. They were all related to each other.
So the White and Red Army fight was really about, their power over Europe, as well as, their answer.
Well, that came slightly later.
Oh.
That came when they were weakened. After the war. Well, after the First War. But the whole situation in Russia was basically 200 years behind the rest of Europe, because they had a proper royal family that ran it as their own property. People were serfs in Russia. It was like Louis XIII, the way they ran it, in actual fact. They were living lavish lifestyles while people were dying of poverty and dying of famine. So the whole situation was a bit messed up, to be honest. And they were so remote for the people outside in their gold-plated houses that they didn't care or know what was going on outside. They didn't care.
No, I agree with that. That is true.
And the houses were gold-plated. The roofs were covered in gold.
They were, and you had things like the Fabergé eggs that were created every single year, that were fabulously wealthy things. But we've got to remember, though, that it was a very, very different time. Their objectives were not the same as today. They were imperial nations. They wanted territory, they wanted land, and they were monarchies. And that lifestyle fell after that war. We lost a lot of the aristocracy. That was with fascism and communism. And look what that.
You wonder if you would have been better off under the royals, in fact, than under communism, didn't you?
You never know, do you? I mean, look at I think that they had a noble idea in what they tried to do after World War II, because obviously avoiding that was priority. But the way they've gone about doing it, particularly now, where they've taken a very procedural, managerial way of doing it, is it just completely lost touch with its purpose. But more importantly, it's lost touch with the people. And I don't think
I agree with that.
Government anymore.
I think the bigger government gets, and this is, I know the globalists want basically a centralized global government, right? Some massive oversight from Brussels, or if they pick a new place, it'll be the Bahamas or somewhere nice, right?
Yeah.
But see, the bigger a government gets, or the bigger a state gets, the less a little person actually matters in any sense, because they're further and further away from it. And I've likened it before, like, see if you sit around a campfire, and you feel a warm glow, right? You hear it crackle and pop. And to somebody picking up a warm bit of wood, it's hot, they feel the pain.
Yeah.
He's cursing and blinded. Oh, yeah, fucking big bluster on my horn, right? But see the romantic couple sitting across the lake, looking across the lake at a twinkle, a wee romantic twinkle. That pain and suffering of the guy that picked the hot log out the fire doesn't exist. It's just a romantic twinkle in the distance. So the further they're away from it, the more remote they are from the pain and the suffering, or the warmth, or the crackle and the pop of the fire. And these people now are not just the other side of the lake, but they're the other side of a mountain in between them and the lake.
Yeah.
They can't see or hear in any way the fire. So they're so far away from it, they're remote. It's just a remote thing.
And do you think that distance is as extreme as perhaps it was for Louis XIV or for the Russians at the time of the Revolution, or is it edging towards that sort of level of extremity?
Well, in that time period, they went in horses and carts through the streets and at least got to see it. Now they're shuttled with a helicopter at 10,000 feet to the airport, and then they're flying at 40,000 feet, or if they've got their private jets, maybe it's close to 70,000 feet high. Whole cities look like anthills for that height. They're nothing. So they're even more remote now than they ever were. Might not be quite as opulent, but the technology now can carry them 5 miles into the sky, so that distance is straight up and down. They fly over you without even giving you a thought. Somebody once says to me, they hate you. And I said, I don't think they do. Those billionaires and it's not they hate you. They don't know you.
Yes.
They don't know you exist, in fact. You're not a part of their world.
No, because their entire way of thinking is different as well.
They're not sitting in a kebab shop waiting for their dinner on a Friday night, like me, you know what I mean?
Oh, I don't know. I've seen Elon Musk in mine a few times. Yeah, you're right. They don't have anything to do with us. So it's kind of like what Bobby was saying before, about people don't get the opportunity to meet those people. So how can you ever move through society and get up that ladder if you don't have access to those people? You don't have opportunity to get into the positions where they are, or even see what they do. Then you've got nothing to aim for.
That's right. And a lot of the people that will get into their positions and get close to those elevated people, their family could tell you for their day of birth that if he's got even a modicum of sense, he will be doing this or he will be doing that because of the family connections. Just like me, I'm a docker. I spent my life as an engineer, but I'm also a docker because my dad worked in a dock. When I was born, my dad went in and got his badge to the dock. He went into the office and says, I had a boy this morning at 7:30 a.m. It's now 9:30. I showed up here at your office is open now. I want my badge. He signed me up, and my mother's still got my journeyman's badge.
Really?
So, wow. Although that system's changed, I'm a stevedore by trade as well as an engineer. I was a stevedore at 1 hour old. Do you know what I mean?
Child labour is still alive in Scotland.
Well, when he started, he done, I think it's his 11 plus, and he was working in the docks.
Yeah.
Right?
Tough job.
Well, you're learning a trade. You don't get a proper pay, but you're learning a trade.
Yeah.
So these people, they know what they're going to do. They know what school they're going to. They know what their profession's almost certainly going to be after their gap year. I mean, us poor people, we don't have gap years.
No, I found that very funny when I first heard of it. But is it really, though, if you put it that way, is what they're doing any different from what your dad was doing in introducing you into that trade? I mean, after all, they would say, we're just doing that.
That's what I was saying. The last time we spoke, I says about the rich people and how the evil people, and they don't consider themselves to be any different, because it is what they are.
Yeah.
See, if you're swimming along through the ocean, you're slightly grey and you've got sharp pointy teeth, you don't see yourself as a creature of disgusting hate. You don't even know you're a shark. You just are. You're swimming through the ocean, minding your own business, having lunch, thinking to yourself, nice day today. Oh, that was nice. I could go another one of them, you know. If I say I'm going to eat another one of them, I wonder where they are.
So do we need to somehow reduce that distance? Is that the answer? Or is that an answer?
No, I don't think it is. Because everybody else's rights is a detriment to somebody else's. See, in any structure, there's going to be winners and losers, right?
Yeah.
Bobby was talking about the people in school who were troublemakers. I had those people in my school who were troublemakers. I said a lot of the troublemakers were actually in what we called and what was known as the remedial classes.
Yeah.
So even at that age, their future is set.
Yeah.
They're no learning maths. They're no learning physics, chemistry. They're no first in their metalwork class. Because it's highly unlikely they're going to let the people even into a metalwork class to play with equipment that could injure them or somebody else.
Yeah.
Now, whether that's them, their fault, their parents' fault, society's fault, or MD's fault, you could spend a lifetime discussing that, right?
Yeah.
But those children, their future's pretty much set there. They're 11-year-old. They're sitting in a remedial class throwing soggy bombs at the teacher. Right? They're not listening to any. They could say to themselves, I'm going to work my way out of this class and work my way up the chain. What I did. No remedial, but I stuck in. I done the homework. Now, I had parents behind me that said, for instance, my dad, as I said, was a docker. He didn't want me to spend one day in the docks, ever. He says, you get the capability of. My brother's a mechanic, my sister's a nurse, I was an engineer.
Yeah.
We all had opportunities that a lot of kids will never have because of their own fault. Because I didn't have to do what my mum and dad asked me.
No.
But I had enough sense to say, oh, hey, I don't want to be a drunk. I don't want to be a waster. I want a motorbike. And in fact, there's an example. When I was 15, I'd actually signed up for an apprenticeship when I was 15-year-old. And my dad was like, why don't you stay on at school, go to university? And my honest response to him was, but Dad, I want to make money so I can buy a motorbike and get women and drugs and stuff. You know what I mean? And he was like, oh, well. I was partially joking when I said it. But I wanted to earn a keep. I think I made the right decision in hindsight.
If you look at it that way, that links in with what I was saying to Bobby earlier about, if these people see that they can earn some money and that will make their life better, maybe that might help some of them. No, it's not going to help all of them. Let's be honest. Some of them are beyond help. Then some people you just can't reach, whatever you do. But
that's cultural. A lot of them would tell you you're a mug for wanting to work. I've been told I was a mug repeatedly. That's why I know it. People say to me, oh, I get up at 6 in the morning, going to work all day and this and that. What's the point? Well, I'm going 2 holidays a year and driving a motorbike as well as my car. You know what I mean? They're asking me what the point is. Some of them are still hanging about the same street corner they were in 25, 30 years ago.
even doing something like getting a scrap motorbike in school, you know, and then having a teacher there that teaches them how to fix the motorbike that they've got in. I mean, they get them for free. That's right. Exactly how I learned how to repair engines.
I'm not practical at all. I taught myself how to do every single thing with guitars. You know, I can strip them, take them apart, wire them. You know, if someone had taught me that when I was younger, that would have been a good thing to learn. But like I say, I'm not practically minded, so that way of life wouldn't have suited me. I would have been better doing something to do with books. But obviously, you have to cater for what people are interested in and look for what their needs are and do what's best for them.
All kids like bikes, don't they? Really, you know what I mean?
But there is a whole culture that's just the rap culture that nothing's worthy unless it's like free money. Yeah. Free money, free drugs, free woman, free. Unfortunately, nothing's free.
They'd know the value of work, wouldn't they? They'd soon know about getting up at 6 o'clock to earn a crust if they weren't getting their benefit paid.
That's right. But they are getting their benefit paid.
Well, like after school clubs or youth clubs that do things like, you know, mechanical repair and stuff like that.
Yeah,
rather than...
That's exactly why they would do things at Rochester Grammar, like the debating society things, because it was the same principle but a different skill. And I would just like to say, well done to Emma for what she has written in her comment in the chat. You should be very proud of yourself.
Yeah,
and I'm sure you are.
Yeah. Well, I was one above remedial, but that wasn't because I was stupid. It was because I found the teaching boring. You know what I mean? And I went on to kind of self-taught myself to be a television engineer.
Yeah.
And I did end up as the head engineer at one place, Teleplan, just out road. I was head engineer there for a while.
But let's be honest, kids do not want to sit and learn all day, do they? They want to fuck them. So that's why I wouldn't set them any homework, because I knew that they'd much rather spend that time fucking about rather than setting them some homework that they won't do, and I'll have to spend all week chasing them up for, and then bloody mark it. Fuck that.
Yeah.
You can see who can you blame for that? You mentioned about Emma there, and that's something she should be proud of, right?
Yeah.
But see, these people, if they don't want to try, if they're going to tell you, oh, you can't tell me what to do, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And now with mobile phones, they can sit basically illiterate and click on icons in a mobile phone and text 3-word sentences in which not one word is spelled correctly.
Yeah.
If that's what they want a life to be, how can you change it? You can't.
Yeah, my education as well also goes back to my dad as well, who were a diesel fitter for British Rail, right? So I mean, you know, he had spanners this big, you know what I mean? That's what he used to use. So he taught me how a switch worked, you know, and from that I actually gained how to wire up Dukebox timers. You know that you used to get old fruit machines. They used to work like that with a load of micro switches on them in cams, and I made them into disco lights and built my own disco when I was 13.
Good, man.
You know what I mean? And
all,
that's what
all men like tools. Let's be honest about that. We do love
that actually, you know, made me interested in electronics. You know, because obviously I used to have to keep changing these triacs in my sound to light unit system, which were one grade up from the cams and the switches. You know, because you could constantly hear them clicking. I mean, they were reliable as hell. You know, they're built like tanks and never broke down. But then when I got my own sound light unit, I used to have to keep changing these triacs because it used to keep blowing. Basically, because it was really old and about knackered. But it got me into soldering and electronics and stuff.
I completely get that, because a friend of mine when I was growing up was a farmer. And so he learned how to do a lot of things on the farm from a very young age. Like he could drive, for example, he could weld, because he had to learn it for the trade. And that's how, you know, you have to have somebody show you how to do these things, don't you?
Yeah. Or at least give a jump start. You know, I mean, I did wire up my first ever switch, and all it did was just switch something off once, because I just went live and neutral into the switch and basically put a short circuit straight across and made it bang. You know, how do you wire up a switch, Dad? And then he showed me, like, you know, you just put your.
Well, I recently changed one of the old, you know, the old glass tubes, the valves. Yeah, I recently replaced one of those in my big Marshall amp, and I shit myself when I turned it on. I thought, this is going to blow up. But it didn't. It was fine.
Yeah,
mate. You know what? Same thing with me. You know, you've been talking about his repair stuff and that, Richard.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, same with me, man. I like learned to kind of solder and stuff when I was a kid, just a little bit of messing around here and there. Saw my dad do a couple of things,
yeah.
and again with wiring and what you just said there, Jake. Yeah, look, you remember you saw my speakers the other day and that when I was in my room.
Yeah.
That stuff I bought like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
When I was a manager for like the Lexus showroom I used to work at in Purley Way, Croydon, right?
Very
And I had a tiny bit of money. I'm not saying I was rich or whatever, but you know, that was when I bought a decent TV and some speakers, and that was it. And that was the last time I managed to spend any money on myself, if that makes sense. And I haven't had any proper money since. Do you know what I mean? I managed to buy this car that you always see lumped in my driveway. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And so back then I bought this CD player, and obviously you know all this stuff as well, Jake. I bought a Marantz CD player. I bought this Sony mini
myself.
Yeah, I know. I bet. Yeah, I know you knew you'd know what it is.
Yeah,
and I had the Sony mini deck, right? And guess what, man? Like, when was it about? In lockdown, right? I didn't really realize, but basically both my hi-fi separate stopped working, my mini disc player and my CD player, the Marantz one. And I was like, oh, it doesn't work. Oh, I hate that these things don't work because they're so cool, they're so nice and chunky and manly looking things, and you just love pushing the buttons, and you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
So I was thinking, I really want to get this working, and something just clicked in my head, literally. What are you doing? What are you doing, Bobbs? You're not a kid. And my own brain just filled in the gap and said that you can actually repair this stuff yourself.
Yeah.
Right? And then what I did, just visually just saw it. I know what's wrong with this stuff now.
Yeah.
You know, before I didn't really know that I was into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I knew kind of a bit more about car electronics and car wiring and, you know, just open this kind of more soldering kind of stuff. And I thought, you know, why am I being such a kid for? I'm like in my 40s and that now. Yeah. This should be nothing for a guy like me. I've been brought up in England. And you got to understand, thoughts going through my head is like, I'm seeing these Afghanistani guys and Pakistani guys with little stalls, repairing phones and complicated phones. And I'm thinking, hold on a minute. I've meant to have had a better education than these lot, right?
You should see
I love those videos.
No qualifications. And what, I can't fix this bloody mini disc deck and the CD player. No, I'm not having this, right? So I thought, no, I'm better than this. So then literally following week, I looked inside it, had a look, and my brain, I could make sense of what was what, which I couldn't do before when I was younger. That makes sense? It just told me this is this, this is this, this is this. And I went, right, and I could straight away saw the problem. Whereas 20 years ago, whatever, when I opened it up, I didn't know what was wrong with it. I didn't know what I was looking at.
Yeah.
But then when I opened it this time, I was like, right, that's it, the belt's gone. And that's what it was. Guess how much? The belt was like £1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
So use it with a CD player. If it comes up with no disc or it keeps skipping and stuff like that, it's always the laser. Yeah. Yeah,
the laser. Yeah, the Marantz laser. That's the one I'm doing next, though. I just want to, you know, I'm doing that one next. I see that one as well. So, so I knew what was wrong with both of them, but I did the mini player. The mini player was the main thing, you see, because that had all my mixes and all my discs and everything, all my music on it. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? All the compilations I made.
Yeah. My Sony one that I bought back in '98. Great mini disc player. Yeah. It's got all my old stuff on it. I did with when I shared the flat with the Muslim guy. I used to rap over the beats that I did. I wish I could find it because I'm sure it'd have some dodgy stuff on it that he would have said about blowing stuff up. I probably look back at it and think I lived in terrorists. But no, I think it's, you know, what is really quite obvious is that we all have learned to do these things ourselves, and that's something that you can't do in a school. Learning is something that has to come from you. You can't just tell someone go and learn. They have to be into it themselves. It's a two-way thing, and that's why I would never take accountability for kids that didn't do so well, because I would say no, I taught them well. Yeah. They just didn't follow it what they were told. Not that they did. But
I would give Bobby a tip though. You know, all the little presets, all the little pots that you've got inside the mini disc player, inside the CD player. Yeah, I mean, you could mess around with them and get it to work temporarily, but do not mess around with them. Otherwise, you need proper stuff like to reset it all back up again. You know what I mean? Honestly,
anyone solder one of these for me?
What is it?
It's a pot switch.
Oh yeah, they're easy. Yeah, send it.
That will save me £100.
Yeah.
I actually sold them, but you can fix it yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a soldering iron. The problem is though, because I take stimulants for the narcolepsy, my hands shake. So they're like this all the time, like Parkinson's, unless I'm playing guitar. So when I try and solder, it's like this, and I would get burned.
Yeah,
I
got exactly the same with my stimulants. Honestly, it would move an inch.
Like
the soldering iron would move an inch. I couldn't work. You know what I mean? I could not do it.
It's really bad some days.
Yeah. Well, I won't whip out my Weller soldering iron, the TCP one that I bought for £108. When I was about 20-year-old. And it's still running brilliantly even now, but they're getting rarer and rarer to get the tips. You know, the tips it's like a magnetic clicky thing, and it is a professional soldering iron that we used to use in college and stuff like that. But I bought this one from, CPC, I think it was.
Mr. Waffle, no, that was not a detonator that I was holding up. By the way.
I know where to get them switches, by the way. We've got a little shop round here.
It does look like one, but no, this is actually, if you can see, this is a phaser with a battery attached, which looks a bit like a bomb.
Yeah, is it a toggle
switch? Is not out on eBay, isn't it?
Is it a toggle
just put the part number. Just read the part number off it and type it into Google, and it will bring it up right away and tell you where you can buy it. Usually that is components.
Because it's on a board, and I don't want to burn the board.
Remove it. You just rub a bit across the wire so you can.
Jake's made me bored.
I know.
Jake's bored us all.
I know. I'd have that.
That's harsh.
I have that. I'm happy with it. It's okay. It has its uses.
Yeah. Owen Wilson can have a giggle.
Yes, the Reverend is right. An MXR phaser, yes. You get a Dave Gilmour sound, yes. Especially if you use a colour sound power boost like I have. No, not that most people will know that. Sorry.
Thanks for having me, guys.
That's not a problem, mate. That's not a problem.
PA?
Great to see new faces.
I'm sorry. I neglected a lot of the conversation later on because I get torn into other problems.
Yeah, no problem, mate.
Oh, no worries, mate.
There's solutions. And
that
you
was
guys
my most fascinating thing.
You enjoy your night. See you, mate.
Take care.
That's right, mate. Please come back. Yeah. Take it easy, mate.
Thank you for having me. Honestly, I am in your honor. Thank you, guys.
See you, man.
No problem, mate. You take it easy. Stay safe, mate. Stay safe. What a lovely man that was. I'm always nervous with new guests now. But he's got some savvy. And it's not as long as mine. That's why I let him stay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Letting him know, innit? Merlin's in charge.
It looks like my powers have blown your lights out, Bobby. Can't see
I hope you guys don't mind.
Where you at?
What it is, pal? I'm in my car. Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna go in the dark, but you know what it is. You know, I've got a Pakistani Muslim family. I can't really get privacy properly. Do you know what I mean? You get it? They're too nosy, my family, man. That's why I have to do this madness. You know what I mean?
Bobby, next time you're on, can we talk about? Because obviously, I appreciate it's getting a bit too late for it now, but can we talk about Pakistani women? Because most English men don't get to meet Pakistani women because, of course, they're kept in the home. And I would really like to know what they are like, what the sort of culture is, that sort of thing.
Oh, mate, you're asking the right person, but the short answer is most of them are awful, bruv.
They don't talk to you. They don't talk to you when you're queuing up for your shopping anyway, no matter how nice you are.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man, I can give you a wicked rundown. I'll give you a wicked rundown my kind of interactions with like women and Pakistani women, Asian women and Bangladeshi women and Iranian women, Middle Eastern women, and my experiences as an Asian Muslim guy, what happens with each one. And
Bobby, can I very quickly ask you, have you ever had a hot dog, mate?
A what?
Have you ever had a hot dog? Because I did say it in chat earlier. I said next time Bobby's up, I'll ask him. And I've got ADH, so have you ever had a hot dog or a sausage? Have you ever,
bloody hot dog?
What's a nog nog?
Hot dog.
Pork product.
Oh, a hot dog. Yeah. Right. Okay. I've had a halal one. I've had like, you see what happens? You see in London, yeah.
Yeah.
We get sausage and hot dogs and that, but it's made of turkey.
Oh right, so now that's cheating.
That's not a bloody sausage. What the hell is that?
Sausage.
I meant.
Yeah, I almost ate a sausage once. Yeah, by accident in Luton.
Yeah.
And basically what it is, I used to always get packed lunch in it because obviously pork and stuff like that in school sometimes, you know, and I didn't really understand it. So my mum used to just give me packed lunch sandwiches and that, right? Ribena and a crisp or whatever. Yeah. So I was one of those guys. But on Christmas and that, my mum was like, "Oh, do you want to have the Christmas dinner thing?" And I was like, "Yeah, I want to have it." Like, do you know what I mean? And it wasn't halal, right? Yeah. But they goes, "Look, right, you can eat the chicken, Bobby, anything beef and that, but you can't eat pork, innit?" And I goes, "All right, you can't eat." My mum would say, "Look, if it looks like this and looks like this, you're not allowed it, right?" Yeah. Right? And I was like, all right. But she goes, "You want to have Christmas dinner? You can sit with your mates and that, innit? You won't be like on your own in a corner, like with your packed lunch, you know what I mean, on Christmas and all that, like kind of thing, right?" And I was like, yeah. So anyway, we have Christmas dinner. My mate Paul's with me. And it's one of my best memories, yeah. And then basically my teacher gave a note to my teacher saying that my mum gave a note to my teacher saying that, "Oh, let Bob's have the Christmas dinner, but just don't give him any sausage and let him have everything else. You can have the turkey, have anything else. I'm not bothered about, even if it's not halal meat." I wouldn't recommend this to other Muslims, but this is just how it was back then in the 80s. Do you know what I mean? Right? Yeah. And I'm a child. I don't understand what halal meat is and what it is and isn't. Do you know what I mean? So I just you can't.
It's not really our way of killing things. We like to make it kind of really quick, whereas halal is slitting the animal's throat and then just letting it bleed out. And
how do we get on to picking on Bobby and bloody Islam again?
I'm not picking on Bobby. I'm trying to figure out just our not indoctrinated. What's the word? Just our
Richard.
Yeah,
Richard. I tell you what. Yeah. Right, you want to talk about Pakistani girls and Asian girls on that, Jake? We can do that. I did. And the halal meat stuff, we can talk about that as well. I think another time. I think it's a bit late. You guys,
really
because Muslims believe that pig is a dirty animal because it wanders around in its own shit, but they're not, mate. We're not when they've been boiled and fried.
It's because of the olden days. The pig was infected. The actual meat was infected. The pigs had an infection. And when they ate the pork, it made them ill. So they put up, and that is seeing the pork as dirty meat. I used to think it was.
Well, it comes to the biblical things was when you were only supposed to eat of cloven hoof.
Yeah. So there's so many things like this. There's little elements. There's even weird parts to it as well. Like not just the dirty animal thing. The fact that you know that they're similar to humans in a way. You know, that it does allude to this kind of point. And the weirdest point is like pigs and that are used for exorcisms. So that's another reason why we're not allowed to do it.
We don't use it for exorcisms.
Never knew that.
It's more of like an old thing, but not so much a Muslim thing, but like pigs in the back in the days that would be used for exorcisms. Like you get the evil spirit out and it'll go in the pig, and the pig will go crazy.
Yeah, so you know, I know that there's nothing wrong with pigs because my great grandma used to eat pork dripping, you see, which were basically pork fat, you know, raw on bread. Yeah, and she lived to the age of 108. You know,
have you seen that new series? There's a new series called Bait. There's a new series called Bait, like by Riz Ahmed, and he has a storyline involving pork and that in there as well. You lot might be interested in watching that. It might, you know, have a laugh. Comedy series.
All right, I don't watch television. I watch YouTube.
I don't watch television either.
I barely watch TV, but I just, like I said, I watch like YouTube stuff.
It's either woke or Muslim. I don't watch it.
Which is the worst evil?
But yeah, you guys were even mentioning about that march in it, where like it was just like none of the Muslims turned up. The lefty one.
No.
Oh, that.
There was some lefty march in London. I think Jake, you mentioned it.
The one at the weekends.
Yeah.
Bobby, I don't know if you caught this. I don't know if you caught this earlier today, but the Green Party, all the Muslims have left the Green Party because of that gay parade.
Yeah, that's exactly what you guys were saying. That's exactly what I meant. Yeah, I was watching you guys earlier when you were mentioning this.
Yeah.
But man, that was, look, see, look. Look, with me, I understand there's certain things on certain sides. There's Muslims on this side, but it's going to sound really strange, yeah? But like for me, I'd rather be on this side than be on that. And that's going to sound really bad, yeah. But look,
No,
I'm not saying I'm homophobic, but us Muslims were kind of a little bit weirded out by it, right?
Yeah,
Let me just put it that way, right?
Yeah.
Let
They're
me
not
just
the
be-
only ones.
We're weirded out by
But I
it.
love you, Bobby. Bobby, I love you. Bobby, don't say that,
Bro, I'd
Bobby.
run a
Come on,
mile, bro.
Bobby.
That happened to me. Oh my god.
You know, don't get
That's-
me wrong. I don't have a problem with gay people. They can do whatever they like in their private
That's
life.
it. I don't really have a
But-
problem with them, but it does weird me out, some of their behaviors. Like same
But
with some Muslims, but we weird people out too.
I don't want to
Stuff
hear
we
about
do.
it. I don't want to know about this gay stuff. Keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
I'm not going to
Mm.
tell you what I can do with a packet of Skittles, but they call me Sweetie Botty.
Oh, the mind boggles.
Yeah, and you're constantly shitting rainbows, aren't you, Will?
You will taste the rain.
Oh no.
Nice
Fucking
to not
magic
give
rainbow.
Bobby a roasting today. I'm glad we didn't give Bobby a roasting today. That's good.
Of course we don't. No,
Uh,
no, we
Good
like
to came back, Bobby. Good to see you.
I personally like Bobby. I'd love to meet him and have a pint with him. I bet. Do you drink, Bobby?
Look, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I have done, but not
Yeah.
often.
Yeah.
There's not much.
No, but
I have done when I was younger. Like, I'm not gonna lie in it, man. I'm not gonna say I was the best guy ever and the best Muslim. Like,
We're not here to judge you, Bobby.
I
You're
bet
just
a
saying how
long
much
time
you
ago,
simulated.
Cup.
I'm just
I
trying
don't know if
to
anyone
weigh
knows what that is, but
I'm just trying to
I'll
weigh
throw
up
it in
just
there.
how much you've assimilated and how
Bobby.
integrated you are. You know what I mean? I think you have
Yeah.
integrated all
but
right.
for me,
yeah.
it wasn't like it was once in a while thing. Like literally, maybe once a year,
Yeah.
literally something like that. You know, if that.
Well, that's enough.
Do you know what I mean?
once a year,
Because you're not supposed
once a
to
year
have any.
drinking from the fairy cup. Do you reckon? Once a year from the fairy cup.
No, that's it, man.
You
Like,
tell her
obviously, I was kind of like, I was relatively a
Everyone's like,
goody
"Tell her
goody
what
boy like that. You see, even in uni and that, I didn't do anything like that. I didn't drink and stuff because I was too much into my work and stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like getting things done and that. Then I didn't really join in any of that kind of stuff because I just wanted to get all my stuff done. But yeah, no, just maybe a little bit after my party days, tiny bit. That's about it. Like I said, I wasn't like crazy big on any of it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Maybe just once a year, Christmas or my birthday or something.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? That was about it. Or maybe my best friend's birthday, that kind of thing.
Yeah. See, the
You know,
other reason.
my best friend from my school nursery, my white mate,
Yeah.
I had one beer with him on his wedding, and he's like, "You're allowed to drink, Bob." He goes, "No." And he's like, "What?" I was like, "Look, man, you're my best friend. Just shut up, innit?" Right? Yes, no, you look gonna think I'm right wild, man. But no, I'm just being honest with you guys. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In that sense, you know, I was like, "Look, it's your wedding, man. I haven't seen you for fucking 20 years. Yeah, shut up, man. And enjoy ourselves for once." You know what I mean? I'm probably not going to see you for another 15 years. Now he's from Yarmouth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yarmouth.
Mm.
Shithole.
Mm. That was better than here, man. Where I am.
Great Yarmouth.
Is it?
That's Rupert Lowe's County. Great Yarmouth.
Yeah, exactly.
It's about 15 miles from here.
Is it?
Yeah, no, yeah. I drove up there in my car, man. It was wild, man. That drive, because going up there, half the roads don't even have lights.
Yes,
You know,
that's
it's
it.
so dark around there.
That's
Yeah,
the
and I
countryside.
didn't realize half the lights on my front of my car weren't working, so it was fucking horrible.
Yeah. And also, you probably notice once you get into Suffolk, it all goes into single lane roads as well.
Yeah, and I hate that. I hate that because it scratches the car.
Yeah.
B roads.
Yeah, it would just scratch the cars up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. There you
And that's about it. But yeah, fellas, I mean, what else we can talk about? I think you're talking about work and loans and all this kind of stuff a little bit as well. Another thing I kind of noticed, I don't know when this kind of changed. You see, when I worked in that, like I like products, I like selling people products, explaining products or whatever services to people.
A
You know what I mean?
salesman, if you will. A salesman, if you will. Yes.
Yeah, a proper salesman. But what I didn't like, what I started to see, is that every job had some kind of rubbish connected to it. Like you have to sell people a loan or a credit system. Like for example, with cars, I love talking about cars. I could talk all day about cars, even other things I could, right? But let's just say cars is a simple thing for us guys to agree on. I could talk about it all day, but when I sell a car to a customer, I'm not selling them the car. I'm actually looking at their wallet, as in profiling them, as in like, okay, and then in the end, you're not actually literally talking to them about the car, and you're not selling them the car. You're concentrating on the financial package.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Yeah. Bobby, I spent years in sales, and I'll tell you something now, right? If you're doing sales, doesn't matter what you've got in front of you, doesn't matter how much it is, because ultimately you're selling yourself. And if they believe you, it doesn't matter what you're holding, they will buy it.
Same with teaching, exactly the same thing.
What with pizza?
But you know, when it comes to like selling, like I said, like cars or whatever, it kind of took the kind of the coolness away from it. So all you're doing is talk about numbers and maths and, oh yeah, but we can do your 3.9 interest rate and that'll work out to £331 and 31p, and it gets really exhausting. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
right?
Well, that's where you just have to take it on the nose, Bobby, right? You collect enough money from that job and then open your own car sales.
I wish, man.
Yeah, no, you know, and then you do that. You start off just with small
I agree with
and
you.
Do them up.
I agree
do
with
them
you.
up, and then you become your own entrepreneur. And you're able to do that under you know, a society like this, a capitalist society.
My point there, though, when you're absolutely right, is my point would be that for somebody like how Bobby's described, or somebody that, like in my background, there wasn't anyone there that would say to you, "This is what you do," to show you that. All we got shown to do is you get the job.
Yeah.
The idea of owning it was you never even thought of doing that.
Well, my mum
exactly that.
My mum started off in a factory, you know, just packing socks or darning socks, or I don't know what it was, you know. And then she went on with her own business, hairdressing, and like that was really easy to set up. You know, pair of scissors and a comb. That's basically it.
Same as my mum.
Yeah, and then me, I had my own business for a while, but I didn't run it that well. So, you know, that went up. That's where I ended up being in prison, because I ended up with a load of car fines because I was still driving my car around to pick up televisions and stuff. And like it was no tax, no MOT, nobody exhaust on back, you know, bald tires, all sorts. And like they gave me a fine, and then I ended up doing 21 days for owing them £100, I think it was, because they had my days read when I owed them 1,000.
I've done many naughty things, but I haven't ever been to prison.
And you know what the best thing was, right? The number plate on the car, right, or a little Volkswagen diesel, right? What do you call the Volkswagen Golf diesel, right? And the number plate was TV Flob. FLOB, I think, X. And like, you know, because I owned Rick's TV Video and Hi-Fi Hospital, you know, and it was TV Flob. I used to love that number plate. It was as if it were privatized, but it weren't. It was just a fluke. Because your television obviously goes flob when it breaks, you know.
Yeah.
Flop.
Yes. I think that's a good point that's been raised here by Slim.
But however, sorry, Jake. But however, you did have a lot of support for building your own business back in them days. You know what I mean? You got something like a £2,000 grant or something that you could have, you know, so that you could set something up yourself. You know, yeah. So yeah. Go on then. What Slim said? Sorry, Jake. Yeah.
He said how we all profile people without thinking about it, and it's called prejudice. We do. Every single one of us has an unconscious bias. I hate that phrase because it's usually used in a racial way, but we all do it. Everybody does it, and anybody that denies it doesn't understand psychology. Of course you do it, and you do it for different people in different contexts and in different ways. And it will vary. But that's one thing that I really did have to learn to do when I taught, was that you have to treat everybody the same, and you can't show more favor towards the people that you like and not towards the ones that you don't. You have to. It's really unnerving.
Yeah.
See, you guys are normal fellas. I don't really bullshit you or anything. You know what I mean? You ask me a normal question, I tell you. Do you know what I mean?
I appreciate that, and we're all ordinary people here. You know, I'm just sorry, I was distracted by the chat by Olga said how my mum did the catalogues. Yeah, that's how I used to get all my clothes, straight out the catalogue.
Yeah, my mum did catalogue as well, you know. And also because my mum was self-employed, she'd work in a converted garage round the back, right? So we converted it into an hairdressing salon, quite famous where we lived in Clipston, right?
Yeah.
And for the fish pond, the house with the big fish pond that my dad built, you know. Yeah, so because of that, we used to have to come back from school and we used to have to cook our own tea. You know, which then gives you home economics kind of school guidance, if you like, but it were after school and had to feed the
Well, one thing I will say that is my ma, she worked really hard. You know, she did the hairdressing. She used to work in a pub at night. She used to sell clothes as well, things like that. But every single day, she made sure that we had our tea at 5 o'clock on the dot, and everyone sat at the table.
Yeah, you see, my mum won't finish till about 7 o'clock at night, so obviously we'd be back at 4:30.
Yeah, she would work at, and yeah, she'd have like between 5 and 7 for tea, and then she'd be back at work.
Yeah. But you're only beans on toast or something like that, you know, classic English chuffing tea. But yeah, it was something, or a boiled egg, you know. At least we learned how to do it that way, you know. In fact, actually, I wanted to be a cook until I found out that I couldn't peel or chop vegetables.
No, that is a good thing to do, because I never learned how to do it until I went to university.
Yeah, you've got to, haven't you? Yeah.
And that is another thing about university that people forget, that it is really, really good for being that final stage between school and life, in sort of finding that middle ground, learning how to pay bills, for example, learning how to cook, learning how to socialize. That side of it is just as important as the academic side.
Yeah.
You see, this is a perfect thing, man. Now, Jake, you said this about university. There's something else I clocked in my later life with university. You know, when we changed over to the student loan system again, loans attached to everything, right? The way the courses were being sold, and obviously me working in the car industry, like, see where the car industry works in the car showrooms. They kind of, I'll give you one way of explaining it. Like, the car spaces we have is like, each space is like a sale. Like, you know, each car park square. So things are calculated per like the square. Like, this square's got this car in it. This square. Do you know what I mean? Right? Each parking spot. So student university and the university system, again, each seat became a seat to sell, and a seat to sell to a student attached with a student loan. Very much similar to the cars. You see what I mean? Like, our job was to sell that space with a loan attached to the car. You see what I mean? Which is the same as do you see what I mean? And this irked me, Jake. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, what are you lot doing? Like, everything's like fun. There's no kind of like genuine, I don't know, like you explained to me, this capitalism just earing its head on all these things. And you think, does it have to be involved with university? And then it made me think, years later, at the time, does that mean university is a business? And now everyone's saying, oh, university is a business. Didn't you know that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, do you see what I mean? It's a bit bad. We weren't told that in school. We were told that we aren't going to get a job, and no one's even going to look twice at you unless you've got a degree. And you should thank your lucky stars. You're in England, and you'll be able to get British degrees. Everyone's going to want you because you're going to be educated in a British institution with the Queen's stamp on your degree and all this and that. Yeah, all the holograms and all this. And we're thinking, right, wicked, innit? We've got an amazing chance here, right? That's why people like me even shut my mouth and got on with it. I'm thinking, right, you know what? We've got a real opportunity. Even though I was obviously born here and that, I got a real opportunity to do something here. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Right. And I don't understand why other ethnics and that don't really see it that way. But the hard truth is now, the things I've seen, the way the student loans are work, the way it's attached, the way they sell the seats to students. And it's kind of done in a kind of anxious way, because the students don't even know half the time if they want to do it, like actually do a degree. And then you scare them with this loan stuff. Oh, we have to go to this. Do you know what I mean?
There's a lot that can be said there, though, about apprenticeship. So don't bother with, obviously you've done it now, and you've probably got a load of student loans. But what I'd have done is probably an apprenticeship. Well, which is what I did do on a YTS scheme, you know, 25.
Yeah, apprenticeships are better. But what was happening with the apprenticeships now is what I was hearing. I don't know for sure. You know what I mean? This is just something I was kind of hearing. Was that what they're doing? They're giving the apprenticeships again to just the rich people's kids, because a lot of the rich people's kids are a bit skillless. I'm trying to say from the ground up. There might be like some of them might be great at playing a piano or something, doing something a little bit sophisticated externally, let's say, right? But day-to-day skills, they're a bit unfunctional. Like, you wouldn't find them like talking to people. They're nervous people. You know, a lot of these posh kids, they're nervous people. You know what I mean?
You see,
right?
See, back in day when government were actually fairly decent, we had employment training schemes, which was after your YTS scheme. So, over 18s could go on an employment training scheme, learn a trade, and then go from there, either go self-employed or whatever, but also YTS, you see, was straight after school at 16 years old. And the dole office could also hold you to ransom with that. You either go on an ET scheme, an employment training scheme, or we stop your benefits. So, you had that. And then they had certain like forklift truck drivers and stuff like that. That was quite a regular thing that they used to send you on. And you'd have to do this for 2 years, and then you'd probably get a job at that place where you had your employment training scheme, So, they were all that, but that's when the government were decent. I don't know whether or not they do stuff like that anymore. I don't think they do.
Exactly. There's only one more element to this. I'm not sure if anyone's mentioned it yet, was a lot of the single parent stuff. A lot of the stuff you guys started off with this Clapham Riot stuff and whatever's been going on. A lot of rubbish as well, a lot of this behavior disorders from single parents. My mum's lucky that I'm a good boy and I did my work and that. And I always tell her, you're bloody lucky that I've always been a good boy and a good guy and I just got on with my stuff and never gave you any headache. Do you know what I mean? You're very lucky.
I learned very, very quickly how to be embarrassed about something, you know what I mean? Either from our what's it called in schools, discipline worked in schools, and also I were afraid of my grandma. I mean, she never ever rose an hand to me, but it was just the way that she used to talk to me. Richard, you must have lights on that bike before I get, that one of my neighbours tells me again that you've been on your push bike, and that you shit you up. So you didn't used to do it, but it's gone now. They don't do that anymore. It needs bringing back.
Yeah.
It does.
You know what I mean?
And one last element I want to bring into this is what me and Jake were saying about not being shown anything, not being shown how things are done or how computer games are done or how a courtroom works or how, a car operates or works or what the things are. Just little things that help you with life, yeah?
Yeah.
And what I realized also is that there is stuff so much available, like I know it's corny to say now, everyone knows this, but stuff is available on YouTube. Like, I was telling you about how computer games are made. I found documentaries, from like 1992, 1993 about Nintendo. And during that time, I would have killed to know this kind of stuff, if that makes sense. The stuff that they're showing. And I saw this documentary a few months ago.
Yeah, there's stuff that I used to watch on. On YouTube. When I were into me Game Maker, it was software that could download for free. You used to download this game. Well, it was a game really, like Game Maker. You set up a room and stuff, and they tell you how to make asteroids, but then you understood exactly what they were doing with all the objects and stuff, and then you could change that to your own thing, and then you could basically all you need to know is how to move a character, how to generate a random number, and how to detect a collision, and that's all you really need to know. And this would tell you in this game, that they were doing, and then you could just run with all those variables or those particular things and go and do your own thing, and then suddenly you've got Defender. You know what I mean? Because it's exactly the same.
I read Defender. There's a game.
Yeah, or anything like that, and then you could add little things that come out of the asteroids, which is what I did. You could have little things that come out of the asteroids, and then you have to go and pick them up, and then that'd give you like two little balls rotated around your ship. You know what I mean? It was basically Defender, but I added other bits onto it. And that's.
Well, I think
like playing with a big box of Lego. It was.
One thing that might help is to try and instill into kids the idea that you do not get into debt, because I think people are too easy getting into it, and they don't need to get credit cards to buy massive TVs and all this shit.
No,
you don't need all of that stuff.
Yeah,
that's exactly what I was on.
Make debt a dirty word again.
Yeah. Look, even though I bought a load of cool stuff in that 20 odd years ago, it was all cash, and I bought it all with hard-earned money. I had nothing before that. Literally, and I thought, okay, I've got half a decent job, I can buy a few things for myself. But that's it. I never bought it anything since.
Well,
I don't need to. If my TV breaks, if my TV is like 20-something years old, if it breaks, that's when I consider getting another one, and that's how it should be. What people are doing every 2-3 years, new TV, new phone, this and that. You can't be like that.
This is my favourite, my pride and joy, my Gibson Les Paul.
It looks great, bro.
Yeah.
Play something, man.
No, not today.
Play something.
Last time.
Played something the other day.
I will on another show, but
and I got my didgeridoo out. I got my didgeridoo out last time.
I bought it.
We'll make a tune about Pakistani girls and how annoying they are.
Yeah, we should. Yeah. But no, I bought it because I'd always wanted one, and for the first time in my life, I could actually get some credit, even though I just said about debt. But I just wanted to have it. I wanted to feel that I'd done something and achieved something apart from getting a piece of paper, and so I got that. And I'm really pissed off with it because it's beautiful. But look at this. I don't know if you can see it. You see that mark there?
Yeah.
My fucking ex dropped a bottle of perfume on it. Can you believe the disrespect of that woman?
Terrible.
Well, how big is the scratch in that? Is it a scratch? What is it? A dent? What is it?
It's a dent.
He's got another one on. He's got another one on.
Got another one on the other side now. Yeah, it's there, dent.
Well, okay. Well, you see your guitar. What is that made out of? Wood or metal?
It's wood.
Where it's damaged. It's wood.
Yeah.
Okay. Not really my thing. If it was like plastic or metal or something, I might be able to give you a couple of hints. like car repairing.
I could
dent removing kind of thing.
I have actually used car repair stuff on scratches on guitars. It does work.
Yeah, it does. It does. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's virtually the same thing. Paint lacquer, top coat, play with it a bit.
That's all it is. It's gone down to wood.
It looks like it's got quite a thick varnish on it.
Yeah, it has. It's got nitrocellulose varnish.
Yeah.
So it's highly flammable stuff.
Yeah.
But that guitar, though, that to me, that was just what I'd always wanted. And so I got it, and I love it, and it's brilliant. And no one has
woman ruined it.
Yeah, my blood woman ruined it.
There you go.
Why didn't you pick the guitar up and put it round her head, Mush?
I should have done, yeah. I should have got the other one, my black Gibson, and hit her with that because that's quite heavy.
Both at the same time, left and right, mate. Boom. Listen to this, bitch. Boom. But anyway, guys, we've done 3 hours, so let's wrap it up because I've got to go and take my meds. I forgot to take them at 9 o'clock. My bad. But we are doing another call in on Saturday and Sunday at 4 o'clock if any of you are about, because it's fascinating. And I get to shut up and listen to people. I love it.
Yeah, we like it when you do that as well. Whereas we like it when you do that as well.
I mean, if you want to take turns, you want to say what your last bit, if there's anything you want to say or anything like that, then feel free to say.
I've got something to say.
I just want to good night to everyone. That's it, really.
Yes, that's exactly what I wanted to say as well. Goodbye, everybody.
You stole your words.
It's been lovely to speak to you all.
Yep, same here. Bye.
And an absolute pleasure.
Lovely. Anything you want to say, Slim? See you later.
Thanks for having me. Good night, ladies and gentlemen.
Take care. Stay safe.
It's a pleasure, Slim. It's a pleasure. I love it when you come up. Good to see you, my man. It's good to see you. But happy days. Come back Saturday at 4 p.m, mate. Saturday and Sunday. If you're about. Happy days.
If I'm available.
Oh, if I'm available. If you can fit the whiz in, mate. It's all good, mate. It's all good. Happy days. Brilliant. Right. Okay, ladies and gents. What can I say now, really? We're said and done. Thanks to everyone in the chat, really. It's been a pleasure. Absolute pleasure. And I'm back tomorrow at 1 o'clock, isn't I? Am I? 1 o'clock tomorrow? What's tomorrow? Thursday. Yes, 1 o'clock. Okay, just got to check. So thanks to every single one of you in chat. Happy days. It's been a pleasure. As Up the Cherry says, a good night all. Take it easy. Stay safe. Stay blessed. You know how I'll say it. But yes, I'll be back tomorrow at 1 o'clock if you're about. Come join the whiz. We'll get some latest news. And obviously, what I'll do is also make sure that in the chat you can say, oh, there's this story, whiz, and I'll have time where we can actually look at one of your news things that you want to check out. So it'd be happy days. So brilliant. And thanks to everyone who popped up on screen. It was a pleasure. And we had the new plastic African. That was really good. A new guest. So hopefully he comes back as well. So happy days. But anyway, until 1 p.m. tomorrow, ladies and gents. Until then, that is the wizard's words.